No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I'm in here rocking Fashion Nova head to toe, feeling absolutely incredible about it. And I'm joined by, I'm talking like I'm doing an interview. This is weird.
Why are you looking at me?
Because if this was an interview, I would be like, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, AD, and today we'll be talking to a guy who's got a brand new mouthful of teeth.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it.
And then this other scarecrow-looking ass. Damn, I did it. They're going to have to edit me. Normally, I take some pride in not being the one.
That's what you get. You feel me? Yeah.
Bad podcasting.
Bad podcasting, man.
Here we are.
Lush, how does it feel?
How's it feel to be from a 5 to a 6?
I feel like a regular.
You wrote that? You wrote that before?
I was going to give him a 4 to a 5.
I went from a 3 to a 9. You talking about?
Whoa.
Nine.
Let me see.
I got bopped on my first day with this.
Bob.
I got chose up on
By who?
instantly
By the dental hygienist?
by about a 4 or 5, but it's all good. Like,
Your
feel me?
voice is still.
Did she say you
Take a little while to get
did
used
she
to.
say you still had nice teeth?
I don't think. I think it's more than the teeth. I think it's the confidence that I exude
Well, because of the teeth.
because of the teeth.
The aura of the bot.
Yeah, it's like
We're still doing that?
We got it's like teeth now.
T-shirts is out now.
They are. The t-shirts are out now. I don't know if we ever said that on the show. NoJumper.com. You want a bot shirt.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I've been on like, I take psych meds, and I was on like the wrong medication for the past couple months.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know.
What did you think it was doing to you?
Making them delusional.
I was just.
Making them smell other people? I thought some of my coworkers had BO.
Making
Nah,
them scream
I was
out of
like,
nowhere.
No, that's me. I do that.
I was just like dumbass in my feelings, like hella emo and like being weird. But I didn't even realize it. I just thought that's how I was. But then I got on my regular medication, and I'm just like,
You feel different?
I feel better than all y'all.
You feel
me?
stronger,
Like,
more resilient?
I just feel like a regular guy.
Now you need a new rapping arc so that you can like show off your like non-drowsy, drugged up Lush.
So you
Watch out.
blaming the medication on how you was acting for the last 6 months?
Nah, like the last 2 months.
Shut your whole
I
ass up.
was.
He didn't blame the medication, psych
Yeah.
man, on the psych meds.
Yeah.
That's
What's the
what your
medication
doctor told
Yeah,
you?
that.
You should sue the
You don't want to
doctor.
give out your dose? You're not going to tell us the
should
Well, no,
official
it's-
blend?
They really like. So I'm on this medication called Wellbutrin.
Oh, I used to be on that in high school.
Yeah, and but the thing is like
Only for a little bit.
the dose I was on was making me tired, and then they gave me a little bit more, and now I'm just like, what's up? You feel me?
I
Like,
can genuinely say that during my Wellbutrin period in high school, which might have only been like 3-4 months, that it was a big, mushy, blurry period of time that I even at the time, like, let's say it was in 11th grade, I remember thinking about it like a year later in 12th grade and being like, I definitely don't remember what the hell was going on. Like, for a big chunk of time, like, it just made everything a blur.
Why were you on it?
So your parents put you on psych meds.
No, I was like depressed or like I was doing terrible in school, whatever. They thought, oh, we're gonna give him this and he'll do better in
no,
school. Didn't work.
TRell, you don't understand. Every white person born between 1978 and 1986,
Didn't use lotion and was on psych meds.
boom, boom.
Okay, I got it. I don't be white, guys.
Definitely not me. I was walking around with dry skin and bad mental health.
I still don't use lotion, but
Do y'all get eczema?
nah.
I give it.
Shit.
I give it to other people. I could touch you and make you have eczema.
Bro.
It's like getting infected.
I mean, but he's tested. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can point at you.
Oh, I could
He
point at
tested
him. I
what?
could tap him.
He
Bro,
tested
stop
for
touching me.
everything.
I like the
dog.
AOB tattoo.
You like it?
Yeah, all on.
I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
I like that.
AOB.
Yeah, well, Lush has new teeth, so let's
No,
just
I look good though, man.
pinpoint
I'm proud of you.
that.
Congratulations.
Let's make sure that we track anything that happens to Lush from here on out. We have to consider the impact of the teeth.
It's just the tops. Wait till I get the bottoms.
Hey, yo.
When a woman tells
sounds
you
a little
you have a
positive.
nice smile, it's gonna be over. Confidence gonna be
You have a really nice smile.
so over.
I'm feeling myself.
we got to get you on the
You
meal
got
prep.
a beard. You got new teeth. You're a whole different dude.
I'm a joint out here now.
I went back to my old interview, not interview, where we was piling on back on Fig, and I looked at you. I said, "Damn, Lush was ugly." I'm like,
What is up with this guy? He's over here just straight bullying. He's trying to grind you down to a nub.
I mean,
no,
him saying I
but
used to
you-
be ugly, that's like
It's a compliment.
This is TRell's version of being nice to me.
No,
so
this
I'ma
is what
take it.
abusers do. This is how they gaslight you. They like kind of compliment you, but then they pull it back and they diss you at the same time, just so you know what's going
that
on
what's
this
going
side
on
of the
here?
couch.
I ain't no snitch.
Damn.
He already
mean,
told
but-
AD, like, watch how I gaslight him.
You're right. You're right. This is my way of saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like
Oh,
that.
man.
I like that.
I wish I had some teeth to fix. Mine are all right, I think.
I'm about to go get my shit did.
The thing is now, like, I just don't care about what any of y'all say, so it really don't matter. Like, not
really
in a
think we
bad
believe
way,
that?
like,
Oh, look, you still gonna
Yeah.
find some.
Yeah.
You gonna do some stupid shit this
No, he
week.
on
I
some
If
guarantee
you're
you.
asking us to hurt your feelings, I'm sure we can figure something
He
out.
gonna, I give Lush T-minus 3 days. He gonna put himself in another pickle.
You don't want to check. Yo,
I'm sure we can figure it out.
and if it's not us, you don't want to give the Reddit a challenge because who
don't
knows
even-
what they're going to think
Stay
of.
out of there.
I don't even read that.
You know what, Reddit?
That's
Let's
a
get on his
goddamn lie.
ass.
Even that
That shit don't
seems like a
exist.
challenge.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all.
Wait, it's Discord, right?
I ain't even been on that since you infiltrated and ruined the
I didn't
Discord.
infiltrate.
Wait, what'd you do in the Discord?
Sowed a lot of seeds of discontent.
Really?
Hell yeah. This fool.
With who? Give me some details.
He infiltrated the Penguin's lair.
I don't even know who's in the Discord or who.
I didn't even infiltrate the Penguin's lair. They was like, hey.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you have your own Discord called the Penguin's Lair.
Nah.
That would make sense. Like
He
a
basically he's trying to make his own,
I ain't trying to do
Discord community.
the same thing he said Flakko was throwing on the Discord people.
I ain't even-
He said, I'm gonna do my own.
People always are trying to tell me like, "What are you guys doing on Discord?" I'm like, I don't know. We have one, but I'm not really like
Discord
in
is
there.
actually like fun.
shit. Discord
it's
lit.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My memory
don't
of
know.
the
I'm
No
lost.
Jumper Discord is like it used to be. I would go in there and it would be so out of control. It would be like the chat section on here, or the comment section, where it's just not the chat, where it's just bow, 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 just nonstop. You couldn't even begin to comprehend it. And then if you were to go look at it after not looking at it for a few hours, it would just be so much that you couldn't even begin to like fathom what was going on. And now when I look at it, because I never look at it and because we never post it, usually there's like not much going on in there.
It's all about the voice chat. You do the VC.
See, I don't know how to move around in there. I just look at the main chat, I think.
Flakko, he's the king in there right now.
In the No Jumper group chat?
No,
Or
not the No
Discord?
Jumper, but
Flacco Discord crazy.
his Discord now, he has everybody on the thing.
Yeah, I heard
He
he
can
got all
stream.
kinds of abusers and weird talks going on in there.
Oh, he's a part of a whole different
People hit
arc
me
now.
up being like, you got to be worried about this. There's this going on in Flacco's Discord. I'm like, I don't think Flacco's Discord falls under the umbrella of things that I have to worry about.
Dude, he has trials. He has full-on trials for different people in there.
I'm proud of him. Infant Ace Boy Trey. He on some different shit now.
Infinite's boy Trey.
Yeah.
Proud of is not really the thing I was
I
thinking.
am,
If
man.
it just doesn't seem like a great use of time in general. Like just to be at a Discord, just having all this insanity playing out. Like
He's like when I heard him say, hey, look, go to them other people's views if you want to sit there and piece it up and all that. Over here, we want the chaos. I said, damn.
He is a curator of chaos.
He be hitting me up. He like, hey, bro, I know you finna go live. Let me know when you get off so I can send all my people to you.
Yep.
I said, how many people you got sending to
Bro, there's people in the Discord.
I got about 20 people. They're gonna pull up. They're gonna be
there's-
Charlemagne.
Nah,
There's
they
more
be
than
watching
that.
my boy, so I appreciate that, man.
It's
Flacco.
yeah.
Good for him. Well, I just want to announce what I had to do this weekend.
We don't
It's probably
care.
the most. It's probably the most glamorous weekend of my life.
Gucci?
My girl was sick as
Okay.
and my house was having the concrete re-poured, and then because I don't know if everybody needs to catch up, but my house flooded as a result of the insane rain that happened maybe a month and a half ago, and so water got under the floorboards. It turns out that means you have to rip up the entire floor that was impacted.
Yeah, because there's mold could be there, right?
Mold was forming like almost immediately. Like by the time they ripped the boards up, like a couple weeks later, there was already fucking mold. And keep in mind, this is in Parker's room primarily because her room is like the part that got flooded the worst. And so literally they had to rip up the entire floorboards and then they had to re-pour the concrete on Friday. And then we had to be out of the house Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Most of Sunday, we couldn't walk on it either. And it's just like we had to go get a hotel. And then meanwhile, it just so happened to be at the exact time that Lena got super sick. So I spent my whole Friday, Saturday in the hotel just doing mostly nothing. At one point, we went to the Beverly Center because it was across the street. But it was just like, I don't know, just the most like trapped in a tiny little lair weekend of my life. It was just pretty boring.
Sofitel?
Sofitel, yeah.
When you was at
Like that's some.
Which brings back strong memories because that's where I met Young Dolph. Rest in peace.
damn, R.I.P.
And I also once saw Ludacris doing shoulders.
You know what they do there too? It's so random. No, they
It's
do.
in West Hollywood, so they probably do.
No, they do the What is that? The sauce? No, god damn it. What kind of dances when everybody back there and they all over there just dancing to the Spanish music?
Salsa?
Not just the salsa. I forgot something else, but yeah.
Merengue.
Bachata, merengue.
One of those, but you go down there
Horchata.
on certain days and they in there all dancing. It's a different experience.
That's
man.
interesting you say
Cumbia.
that because they had advertisements like in the lobby for some sort of salsa dancing, and I only remember that because I was talking to Lena about how I went to a salsa club with some girl one time and got a hand job in my shirt, like that kind of move.
That's disgusting.
And I don't know if that's happening like on their premises, but they were promoting it at the very least.
It's a spicy hand job.
Well, I'm not the hand job, but the dancing.
I was right down the street from you, and it's this club / restaurant right next to the supper club, and they was like dancing
On Hollywood
in
Boulevard?
there.
It's
Yeah,
like salsa and stuff.
no, it was kind of like I don't know what you call that shit. I was
They been there.
burlesque dancer. I don't know. They had those outfits on, and they had like the feathers.
Oh,
and-
burlesque.
burlesque
Yeah.
dancing. Okay, yeah, they were doing that, and it was pretty cool. I was like, "What's going on in here?" It was a bunch of Persians and I would say Armenian people. I was for sure in the
You
wrong
was dancing?
setting.
What was you doing?
Yeah, I was in there going.
Sorry,
you feel
Hoover
me?
stomping.
It don't. I
It was real
cannot.
nice. It was a real nice setting. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I enjoyed myself.
I can't fathom why people think burlesque dancing is sexy because to me, like it's
Let me
supposed
see
to
where
be
this
a
shit
It's
is at.
supposed to be, right?
well, it's supposed to be a throwback to the Roaring '20s,
Right.
And all I think of is unshaved pussy and syphilis. Like
Zoot suits?
I'm not really thinking
Yeah.
about like it that realistically, but I mean the burlesque style dancing, it's definitely
not-
supposed to be sexy. It's just not really like sexy by our modern standards,
I'm not
right?
knocking down any of them bitches. I'm smooth.
Damn,
With
what is
the
this
new
shit
TV
called? It's
one?
called
I
it's
mean-
called Main Row.
Main row?
What the hell is that?
Main Row.
Wait, the restaurant?
It's a restaurant. They was dancing in there.
Nigga,
and
that's
all
the
that.
best restaurant right now.
It was popping in there.
Main row? But what,
Main
Hollywood
Row.
Boulevard?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was in there. We fell up in there. Me
Hey,
and Heather.
that is that's a different type of restaurant.
That was I enjoyed myself.
How did you end up going there? Because I feel like you're kind of like a homebody. Did she have to tell you
Well,
like,
we
hey,
had
we going on a
reservations
date?
for somebody else's birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say
And we went.
that's random as hell.
I mean,
but
it
I
doesn't
didn't
really
know-
sound like something you would just think of. Like,
They
I'm
come
gonna
on,
take.
Full of muka shay, I play while you like,
all
what
that.
the hell?
But it wasn't.
Then
but
everybody gets on the tables
play-
and hey,
they play hip hop
hey.
a little bit. They play hip hop a little bit, but like not that much. And it was an older crowd. I couldn't like. It was like 30 and over. And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, these niggas is partying in here.
Hey,
But it was majority white people, and I would just say I felt like they were playing like Armenian or the Persian type. It was more so that, but it still was like it was going like the
Okay.
food was good. I was like, I need to be in here.
it's like a mini club. You can
Yeah.
get bottle service. Like they bring it's crazy.
I was like, this is nice. I like partying like this.
But
I can't be around you aggressive black motherfuckers no more.
The people, the women that they have sing over there is top notch.
Yeah, they was
You was
singing.
like,
They was
it's a real
performing.
experience.
That was really nice. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm like, this shit is nice.
The food fire too.
Main row.
It must be nice to go to a strip club type experience. So, 'cause what's that one place that everybody always goes to that's like an old school style?
Sam's?
No, but there's like what's it? Tootsies or Twisties or some
Tootsies
shit.
in Miami.
No, there's one out here that's in like I forget, like Silver Lake or some shit, and it's kind of like a burlesque show type strip club, I think, where it's more like old school and like it's not like super sexy. It's not like a modern strip club where they're just trying to take your money and dance to Jodeci.
I'm smooth. Like I need stupid twerkums if I'm in the strip club.
Twerkums.
Twerkums.
I'm not really trying to deal with no like
I ain't going there.
alternative strippers with fucking stick and poke tattoos.
The last
looking
like
they from
15
Portland.
times
I'm
I've been to the
smooth.
strip club, it's just I've been like, this is not for me.
I
What the
don't
fuck
want
am
to.
doing
I don't
here?
want to lap dance, and I don't want to see you doing that because it's just like, we what are we doing? Are we fucking? Or you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. Like a strip club, like
Yeah.
niggas gotta fuck. Are we fucking? Are we finna do the threesome? What am I here for? I'm not.
That's
finna
why
see-
it's weird.
Spoiler, you're not.
Boy,
I'm like, but what are we finna do? Like, you feel me? Like, I don't want to be sitting there looking at ass clapping, cheeks clapping. I ain't trying
When
to
we
get
was-
my dick hard just sitting there. That's
the,
weak.
the girls don't seem hot to me anymore. When
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
when I all through my 20s, every time I went to the strip club, besides maybe sometimes where I went down south and the girls were just clearly like
now they
inbred.
butt ass naked.
Down south, I've seen some chicks with bullet holes who look like they were retarded and everything. But in my modern age, like going to strip clubs in LA and stuff, I always felt like the girls were kind of hot. Every time I go to a strip club in recent memory, I'm not impressed at all. I'm really kind of grossed out. And part of it's probably that I'm not drinking. but also part of it's probably just that I'm being
I
a
don't
little
want
bit more
that
real.
cold booty on me. I'm cool,
Nigga,
like,
the last
and I'm
time-
not throwing you the bread.
If it's
Like,
cold, that's bad.
The
They need to
last
turn
time
the
we
heat
was
up.
the last time we was booked, this nigga dancing to himself in the strip club.
Oh, I
I
remember
can't
that.
do this.
I remember that, and I remember talking about how I wouldn't do it, and you guys were talking like I was crazy, and you were gonna go get this bag. You have not done it since.
I can't do that.
That's what I'm
shit,
saying.
dog. I'm like, AD
got
like,
paid- he got
AD
paid
like,
to go, though.
AD like, throw this. I'm like, no.
I don't
He like,
think
you
if I-
gotta throw it. I'm like, fuck.
If I was getting paid, I don't think it would change how I felt all that much. I think I would have like only slightly more fun if I was getting
Nigga, when
paid.
we were supposed to go out for your birthday, Lena went to get 5,000.
Don't gotta tell this again.
She was about to go crazy.
I love hearing this story every week.
I said, hey, I'm just saying. Lena would
Yeah.
say, Adam, throw this money. You would have threw it.
Don't,
I mean,
don't
maybe-
react.
maybe-
Don't react. He'll stop telling the story if you don't react.
Maybe you gotta, maybe you do that and you take a bitch home. You feel me? Or
No,
something
then
like
it makes
that.
sense.
Then it
Or-
makes sense.
Or if you're single and you're flexing, you're trying to attract girls or whatever, then I guess I get it. But
I'm not going to throw the money at no girl shaking the cheeks and then, hopping the cheeks on my jeans.
it's too much respect.
out.
It's
That's
too-
why you gotta go wearing some velour sweats,
Oh, so you want the bitch
Yeah,
to
you a-
feel the year in the
you a
mean?
pervert.
no
Oh, they
draws,
gonna get your ass up out of here.
no draws. I ain't
They gonna like, no, I can feel his year in the mean. Get him up out of here.
Yeah, they
like
don't want
this.
that.
No,
they don't want you to
don't
do
want
that.
Look at my teeth.
They absolutely want that. Look at my teeth.
Look at my.
Look at my teeth.
Somebody got to animate
Look at
a
my
skit.
teeth.
But
Hey,
nah,
you know
they-
how it feels.
I know.
You know how it
I'm
feels.
just
you
saying,
go in
come
there
on.
in gym shorts with a rock hard fucking boner down to your knee. No, not that you got it down to your knee, but you got a crazy boner in there. That's
down
not
to my shin.
I feel like they're gonna fucking be weirded out. They're
I
not
did
gonna like
that
it.
before.
No.
You
Wore
in there
some
hard?
sweats. Wore some sweats.
He knows.
You know what I'm saying? She was doing the thing. I was on her like Smac, right? She looked back like,
You got a problem.
I finger banged a stripper in the club for
this nigga
half
year in
hour
the mean
there.
is hard, huh?
Get your ass out of here.
He need to go.
I've had crazy ass strip club experiences too, where I was like damn near like hooking up with the chick like while I was supposed to be in a lap dance, and then all of a sudden I'm like fingering them, making out, and like too much to the point where now if I were to get a regular lap dance, it's just not even registering.
I mean, at the end of the day, if I don't leave the strip club with glitter all over my face, did I even go to the strip club?
But why you gonna spend good money to get some glitter on your face?
You
That
can
ain't no
just-
pussy.
Just pay for it somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
I like the ambiance.
No,
I like-
his last time was attempted fail.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Ooh.
God, what happened?
He wasn't doing all that. You was here. You wasn't here for that.
We ain't gotta say it again.
Yeah. Anyways, I was finna get a hooker and I decided not to.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm pump fake.
Oh shit.
You just transitioned from strippers to prostitutes
I'm
real
grown.
quick.
I'm grown out here.
Grown enough to get a hooker.
I'm grown out here.
I respect somebody who gets a hooker a lot more than somebody who
Nah, but
is
strip
just
clubs to
blowing
me,
mad
like,
money in the strip club.
It's not even about like I just like the environment. It's cool to have chicks dancing. You with the homies, you post it up. Like, even if you don't want to spend hella money, sit in the front. Motherfuckers throwing up money, that shit land on the ground. You re-pick it up, throw it.
No,
feel
you
me?
can't
Like,
do that.
Hell yeah, you can do
You
that.
cannot pick
You
money up off the
absolutely
ground.
can.
No.
Yes,
You're
can.
doing it wrong.
Hey, Lush.
AD,
He doing it wrong. But still,
TRell, no.
Hell no.
hey,
You will
So
get
this-
kicked out of the club for that.
Never happened once.
That's fine. He
Lush,
can
you
do
gotta-
it. I was
Disgusting.
stuffing it.
you gotta watch. You gotta watch. Look
You know what I'm
around.
saying? I don't know what he
Hey,
was doing.
that nigga-
I'm all
I
of a
was doing
sudden,
this.
I'm starting to question what
Look.
kind of person you are if you picking up money off the
He's a
ground
great
and
person.
re-throwing.
He's a
I'm
great
helping.
person.
Yeah.
I was putting it in
I'm
my
He's
pocket.
recycling. See,
Yeah.
The funniest
that's
shit
worse,
is,
but at least it makes sense.
the funniest shit is Smac saying that Q caught him taking the money.
Oh my God. He has a house party. Has strippers come. This fool's picking the money up off the ground. He goes outside to put it in his pocket. Everybody's looking at him out the window because he thinks nobody can see him. He can't. They like, bruh, get the fuck. What the fuck are you doing? Put it back on the ground, dumbass.
That's wild.
But if you're in the club and it lands right there, and you're
Nope.
sitting in the front, you're helping it get to where it's supposed to be.
They're going
It's
to
like
come
when
through
a-
and pick that up.
It's like when a bird falls out the nest.
Okay, no,
and
no,
you
look,
pick it
look.
up.
Okay.
I mean, no, he's kind of right.
Lush?
You can kind of
Yes,
do that.
Yes,
I've never, I always thought it was strictly for me.
There's
I've
a-
never seen anybody do it.
There's a way that you can play it off though.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
on the
the,
couch.
Well, I got to tie my shoes
no,
and pick up $100.
when the money is going crazy and everything like that, and it's all landed by your feet and stuff like that, when they come by, you can be like, you can look down at it and you could just like push it towards them like you gave them the money. You know what I'm saying?
You can do that too.
Nah, if it's on the couch and I'm standing on the couch, I can be like,
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you can't
Yeah,
throw
that.
it. You gotta hand it to him. You
No,
deserve
no,
to
no,
throw.
no, no.
You
You
don't
throw
deserve
it.
to throw. You don't chuck it at him.
It
You're
land-
like this. Here, this is.
as long as it get to the stage.
Nigga, that's
all
broke
that
shit
matters.
activities. Broke shit.
I mean, no, you throwing it at the stage is wild.
You
No,
wild.
no,
You
no,
wild.
no. That's what you're supposed to do.
I don't know.
I'm giving advice to anyone that's broke.
Let us know
that
in the
wants
comments.
To experience.
And anybody that wants to experience this, the bouncer's gonna whoop your ass if you out there taking
ain't
money
never-
from the women.
And I want to say this is that you're saying like the ambiance is good and that
Hell
it's
yeah.
cool. Every time I'm in a strip club, it's a bunch of Asian lesbians and then a bunch of random fucking jocks that I want nothing to do with. So I probably have gone to the wrong ones
Yeah, you're
mostly in my
definitely going
life.
to the hokey pokey and
But
shit.
I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna run into any cool ass people. It's gonna be people who already tried to come up and take a photo with me on Melrose, and it's just gonna be awkward.
You
Well,
gotta
you-
go to like Cheetahs and you gotta
Yeah,
go to
you-
crazy.
It's still
girls.
gonna be weirdos.
You go into strip
It was
clubs
always gonna
where
be
A bunch of weirdos trying to fucking slurp me up. I'd rather stay home.
it sounds like you go into strip clubs where white girls are dancing to pour some sugar on me type shit. Like you feel me?
We should have
with
more
no
like.
ass.
We
should
need
have-
an intervention about your self-hatred of your own racial identity.
How's that self-hatred?
Because you're denouncing a strip club, hypothetically saying that there would be white girls there. Lush, you are white.
there's first of all, I'm not saying there's different.
Don't try to wiggle yourself out of it. You are not. You are white.
There's different types of white girls. Look,
I'm just not a self-loathing white.
look. Just because you had an interview with Richard Spencer doesn't mean you can be on your
Ooh,
fucking Hitler
bitch
Youth.
we
ass
didn't
nigga.
talk about strip clubs, and,
Yeah.
and like just because I complimented his New Balances doesn't mean that I have any other
New
positive
teeth,
feelings
Lush.
towards
You
them.
don't let this nigga talk to you like that.
I've been
not
had
cracking.
these. I bought these when
It's
we were
not
on the
cracking.
No Jumper tour before you joined.
It's not happening.
It's not cracking.
What?
His
No.
new teeth, Lush. He ain't taking it from you.
Ain't nobody saying shit to me no more.
Well, okay, but we got to work on the self-loathing white thing.
Let's do it.
Hey, you know what? Fuck white people.
Yeah, see that right there. You got no reaction, no laugh. Everybody's just kind of like,
I
"Damn,
wasn't
that's cringe."
joking. I wasn't joking.
It's
Whoa.
cringe.
I wasn't joking.
Please
I
tell
know,
me
and that
more.
makes it worse.
I was dead serious.
And that
on-
makes it worse. You
Nah.
can't dig this hole any deeper.
No, I love white people.
Speaking on race.
I love
and,
white people.
and pedaling backwards now doesn't make it any better either.
Speaking on race.
Look, at the end of the day, I like all different varieties of pussy. If I'm at the strip club, I'm not really trying to be listening to Van Halen with bitches with no ass. There's a very attractive.
This
thick
is the
white-
same joke. This is still the
This
self-loathing
is a
white thing.
joke. I'm dead ass. Like,
Well, just because we're not laughing, it still feels like a joke.
No, I really want to hear him out.
I'm just saying, I prefer strip clubs that are.
So you're not attracted to white women?
no, I love white.
See,
women. I
okay,
love
then what are
white
we
women.
even talking about?
But there's different varieties of white women.
Have you ever had a white girlfriend?
Yeah. I've had a white
Had to get
girlfriend.
rid of her. Wasn't getting him where he wanted to go in life.
No, I one of my best girlfriends
needed
was
a
white,
BBL.
but she was spicy though.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Speaking of racism, you got anything?
No, I don't. I mean, but if you're gonna, sexist stuff, we can go into the Charlemagne thing and
What'd he
the
do?
Breakfast Club where
Yeah.
Angela
Angela
Yee
Yee.
made that comment to where she said it was she felt like she was the only woman in the space, and they wasn't taking her serious as far as when she was working there.
I
think
thought she just said that she felt like she was getting dragged into Charlemagne's shit. Like if Charlemagne was beefing with a rapper, then she would kind of get hit with it too. But she was playing the woman card as well.
Yeah, she played the woman card. It didn't go. It didn't go well for her because DJ Envy hold on.
cap.
That was cap. There's a lot of women that actually work here for the station. You're not just by yourself. So we do take heed to what women do and say here. And there's a lot of women here, so you can't do that. So I think she's gonna backtrack her statement and say they put it out wrong because sometimes those clips do kind of like fuck up shit with the way they title it.
It's just like, I mean, let's be real.
we know.
Whatever kind of negativity she might have had to deal with in her career as a result of sitting next to DJ Envy and Charlemagne, she was being carried for that whole time period. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have talent. I'm just saying that when you're sitting next to Charlemagne, you got to deal with the good and the bad. He's one of the best broadcasters in hip hop. He's got great takes. He's consistently like on a million different fucking shows and he just kills it day in, day out. Angela Yee should be thankful that she got to fucking sit next to that kind of energy. And obviously, like, the level of fame that she's gotten to, I would largely attribute to the fact that she's been on the Breakfast Club.
I
all
mean,
these years,
Angela
right?
Yee went from doing lip service, where she was essentially just doing
But didn't she start that while she was already doing Breakfast Club?
no, that was predated Breakfast
still
Club.
do it,
I
don't
didn't know. She still does it.
But that was like at the time when it first started, she was just on some like sex talk shit, having Gucci Mane talking about, her draws and all that shit, to being on one of the most respected, legitimate platforms in hip hop with one of the best journalists in hip hop, Charlemagne, although he is as
Journalist?
I mean, what do you
Media
consider-
personality.
Media personality. And, regardless how polarizing he is, he's great at his job. And, yeah, you're right. She definitely got carried. However, the producer of that show was a woman, so I don't know about that statement.
You can't just play the woman card in every scenario. Because you know who did it is Lori Lightfoot, the fucking mayor of Chicago.
The one with the afro?
Yeah, she lost the election and she just immediately blamed it on her being a woman.
But a lot of
I'm
people
just like, what are you fucking talking about? You're like the worst mayor ever. You said you were gonna sue the gang leaders and then you fucking get kicked out of office by another Democrat, and then you just immediately have to go to like, it was misogyny.
They turned her into a meme though.
She is a meme.
But of course they're gonna want to know, like, why did you quit the Breakfast Club? So all these questions are forever gonna come up. So they're looking for a negative answer. So if she gives anything like that's close to something that they can touch and they can grab and they can use, like they're gonna run with that
She
shit.
should
Like,
know better.
Yeah, but I
Don't
wouldn't
give
say-
them that.
Don't give them that. At
Have
all.
enough respect for your former co-host to not give anybody else anything, not even a nugget of availability for them to say like, oh, look at how she doesn't appreciate the opportunity that she had for all these years on the show. If I were her, I would not even have said
They
all
got to
that.
bring Webby back. It's the only person. He's undefeated over there.
Webby was
The best, probably the best. Other than Ray J, one of the best clips they ever
But
had.
what I don't know what
remember.
like why would you even quit though? I mean, Charlemagne is still there, DJ Envy is still there. Like,
I mean,
why would you be so inclined to leave that
But
situation?
wanting to do your own thing,
It's
I
not
mean,
bad.
I get it. you
It's
know?
not bad.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she already was kind of doing her
not
own
bad.
thing. But also, I mean, it's like they seemed like they had secretly hated each other for a couple years. Because it was like kind of clear tension on camera sometimes. I feel like a lot of people, myself included, kind of stopped watching it as much over the years. That a big part of it was that whole thing with Gucci Mane where he called her a bitch on camera and Charlemagne didn't really do anything about it. And that she said that she felt offended by it, et cetera. And they've acknowledged on camera, like, we do a show together. We're not like friends like that, which I respect the fact that they were willing to acknowledge that but up until that point, I had thought, oh, y'all are friends.
yeah, I mean, but if we do a show together, I mean, you got to have some type of respect for me.
Yeah.
You feel me? I don't give a fuck if we don't hang out outside of this shit. Like, when we get in this bitch, we gonna be the closest motherfuckers to ever walk the earth. Like, you got to take up for me at some point. Like, you can't go for that shit.
Charlemagne should have said something in that moment. He should have been like, "Hey, come
he
on."
He acknowledged that, I think. But you know, if I'm doing an interview and the person says like, "Well, listen, you know who I don't like? TRell. He a bitch."
Better take off on girl.
No. what would you expect? And let's say it's like he has a valid reason or whatever. He's got a little story about something that you did to him that he didn't like. Yada yada yada. Do I tell you beforehand, or do I just drop it?
No,
or do
so
I have
if
to edit
a
it
nigga
out?
be like, if a nigga be like, hey, T-Rell's a bitch, you gonna be like, why? You know what I'm saying? Let him speak his truth, and then then right after that, you gonna be like, this is why he's not a bitch.
Well, what if I don't have anything?
You
to
better have
come back-
something,
But
motherfucker.
But what if he has a story? He has
You
a story
don't, we
about
have a
some
problem.
slimy shit that you did to him.
Okay.
What can I see you trying to make this boring ass joke. We get it. We already know what joke you're trying to make.
We're talking about the man.
You were
Please
trying to
let me
make
know
it the
this.
second we started talking about this.
What?
Okay, so if I have no defense, I can't like in the
You
bitch
have a
thing,
defense.
like when he calls when Gucci called Angela a bitch. I mean, but he wasn't saying it like, oh, she's a bitch. He just called her a bitch in like the regular hip hop way of calling a girl a bitch, right?
Okay, take up for me right now.
But on what? If they just said that you robbed him back in the day, if it was, I'm interviewing Frank
You
Lotion.
gonna be like, damn, I didn't
Frank
never know.
Lotion?
Sorry, Frank Ocean. And then he's.
Yeah, he jacking off the Frank Ocean.
With velour
Wow.
pants.
Frank Lotion is amazing.
I'm
I
interviewing.
know.
That's
No, because we used
crazy.
to call house phone that, just for the record.
That's great.
That's
Because he always would
crazy.
bring
And
out.
speaking of house phone, if somebody says something
This is
about
the boring
TRell,
joke that I was trying to get you to
should
not
at
make.
least give him, you
Yeah.
know,
We
just
got
say,
it.
hey, man, this is coming. And you will
Thank-
have a strawberry surfer.
Thank you for explaining the joke that we already tried to get you to not make.
Look, if someone
And
says
for the
fuck-
record, that is exactly what happened. Is that the person already was warned about that in the reference that you're trying to make.
if someone says fuck TRell and I'm interviewing them, obviously, yeah, you'd be like, why? They explain, I'd be like, well, you know, at the end of the day, that's my partner. I fuck with him, you know, like
New teeth gone.
you're entitled to your opinion at the end of the day, but like that's my boy, so I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't talk bad about him in my presence.
That would sound so gay.
No,
if you
no,
said
no,
that in
no,
an
no,
interview.
no.
You
I
cannot
wouldn't-
say that in an interview.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You can't say you can't talk shit about him in the moment. You could
I would
edit
say
it out afterwards, but you could talk about the thing that they're saying, but you can't say, oh no, like you can't talk shit about him to me. That's not okay.
I didn't say you can't.
Plenty
I
of
said I would
people
appreciate
then
it if you
came
did.
and said, fuck Adam.
On here.
No. Well, yep, here. Yeah, here too.
But to be
Here
honest,
too.
like,
look.
I would never take
No, look.
issue with that. Like to me, that's fine. I
That's
don't
fine.
care.
I know
You
you're not
guys seem
gonna
to
take
feel
issue with
differently.
that. I know you're not gonna take issue with it, but when motherfuckers get here, they'll say they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll allude to it, or fuck Adam, or the white man, or the white platform, or, you know, even your arch enemy comes on my platform, fuck Adam, and, you know, I listen to him. And then right after that, you know, my rebuttal is, you know, I love him. I fuck with him. This is
That's
the
what
key
I'm
points
saying,
I
yeah.
fuck with. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know what you got going on, but that's your personal opinion. But this is why I fuck with him. Boom, 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 boom. So people will know what's going on with me. I gotta give them the bullet points.
Right.
Why I like you.
Well, thank you.
Fuck
Appreciate
you.
it.
You know
I
what I'm
respect
saying?
that.
I'm just saying,
But if someone becomes excessive about it, you got to stop him.
Pull
at a
your
certain
shirt down,
point.
man. I love you to death too.
At a certain,
oh man, you're the only one who can see that too. I can't see it.
Yeah, it was just like white skin poking out with the outfit. It didn't
Oh, muffin
match.
top.
at a certain point, though, if someone keeps on doing that, you got to stop him, right? Like,
Yeah, like come on, nigga, change the subject.
I guess
If it's excessive like that,
I'm
Yeah,
just
that's what I mean,
imagining
like-
a different scenario where it's like someone saying something extremely specific that I can't refute. Like I can't tell them like, nah, that didn't happen the way that you're saying it because I wasn't there or whatever. And in that situation, it's kind of weird. The Gucci situation is also a different thing because it's like Gucci wasn't, he was calling her a liar, right? Because wasn't the accusation that he made that she tried to sleep with him at a certain point early
Yeah,
on?
that's what he
I
And
thought
that
for sure
he
he
didn't
hit
holler
that
at it.
after that first interview. I thought for sure.
And that was the kind of like weird tension is that a lot of people watching it thought that maybe
Yeah.
that had happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's
And
any
for con-
truth to
and
this.
but-
I
and
have
for
no
content,
idea.
For content wise, I'm gonna let Gucci get his shit off. Go ahead, get your shit off.
But if you're
my boy.
Charlemagne in that situation, that's your
it
co-host.
puts them in a weird situation.
You
For
have
sure.
to like what you say in that moment is going to be so fucking important. And yeah, I don't know.
Look what happened with me and fucking OT and Yazzie. People was like, you were supposed to have your co-host back.
in the moment, it's kind of
You were
different.
like, I don't know her.
yeah, he crazy.
Nah, but that's your best.
Adam
friend,
made me
though.
be on the show.
Hey,
But that puts you in a weird situation though, because that's
It puts me in a weird situation, but still.
that's
Yeah,
different.
because your co-host is someone that you realistically don't care that much about, and then the person
I
that
used
you're
to care about her.
sure, but then you're doing the podcast with someone who's your actual real friend that you really have a real amount of loyalty to. That is a weird one.
But I mean, and Angela,
A wobbler, if you will.
Angela
Definitely a
Yee's
wobbler.
defense. I mean, well, not in her defense, but still, like she's gonna not catch fire, but she's gonna be questioned for the rest of her life on why did you leave this platform, as big as it is. And these men are still here, and they're still doing things outside of this platform. So why couldn't you stay? So people are gonna always kind of drag that out and trying to get that out of her.
No matter
you
what.
Just, no matter what. So when she goes, she has to be fucking fully prepared, not to say anything because they're gonna make this shit blow.
And that's one of the worst things about doing an interview these days is that a large percentage of people you might do an interview with, you kind of already know everything they're going to ask you because they're going to ask you everything that they think sounds controversial. And it's like, it depends how tapped in they are. Because like, I know every time I do a podcast, it's going to be the guy put the gun in your face and XXXTentacion and you do porn, let's talk about plug talk or whatever. It's like the same fucking obvious ass shit. But then if you go to do a podcast with somebody who's kind of in your universe, you know they're gonna ask you about all these different little beef things, and they're really trying to get you to say something about somebody that you fuck with that people will find interesting, so people will click. And honestly, I find it so fucking predictable at this point that unless it's like a big platform, that like a big part of me just doesn't even want to fucking bother doing other
Nah,
people's
for real.
shows.
But
I
you know
respect
what?
that.
But you know what? It's also a red flag. Anytime she does something or say something, envy is there.
Well, yo,
And he's like, and I'm like, why are we so defensive?
TRell,
Like,
did you
man,
ever-
if you're not doing this shit, we don't even need to speak on it. And when you do speak on it, you can speak on it lightly. Like, oh, shit, I know she didn't mean nothing by that.
did you
But
ever
it's just,
talk
like,
about
too
the?
defensive.
Did you ever talk about the beef that you and Charlemagne had?
It wasn't no beef.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
I mean, he was doing his job. He called me the donkey of the day.
I mean, to be
He
fair,
pronounced it. He awarded you. The Donkey of the Day is an award.
That's prestigious.
It's
It
not
really
just a
was.
little accusation.
to be fair, you over there, you bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
ready
You said you were going to kill him.
Yeah.
I was ready to kill
When
him.
you
If he
come to
was-
LA, I'ma
if he
fuck
was
you
in
up.
Los Angeles,
You was
I
on it.
probably would have tried to shoot at him over the donkey of the day. that
John's over
is
there like this.
crazy.
Oh my
Nah, but you was mad
Oh
even.
my
be-
God.
But the reason why he awarded you that is because you was threatening him already. You was like, don't pop up out here.
No.
whoop-de-whoop.
What happened was
because he had said something crazy about Heather. Yeah.
Heather had her baby in the
Right.
club, and then they saying, "Oh, this is stupid." Woo woo. He's taking up for her like
Right.
bitch ass nigga.
Imagine
and then
me-
he get the donkey in the day.
Imagine
Right.
me writing that caption, misspelling the gang and shit, and him reading it out loud on the Breakfast Club. I was like, this shit
That's
is
classic, though.
embarrassing.
But you
That's classic,
you
though.
guys both were wrong in that situation because his analysis of what was going on in the video was wrong. He was basically acting like this was just a random girl bringing her baby to a Tyga concert,
Yeah, he
and
was
not
like a hood rat or
his
something.
his best friend slash like guy he's business partners with or whatever is there with his girl, and they have their baby. That is a completely different scenario. And the baby had fucking earplugs in, if I remember correctly, or
For sure.
they better
She
have
did.
because
For sure,
baby
dude.
be deaf right now otherwise. But fucking, and then you were kind of wrong for responding to that by telling him you wanted to kill him. But, he was already in the wrong for like describing the situation wrong. So,
But you were also at a different phase in your life. You're more like, that was a more turned up phase for you, would you say?
Yeah, it's a little bit more turned up. Yeah, I was calming down still at that point. I was.
but I
Get
feel
your
like
curry pop TRell.
I wonder.
It's a different one.
I wonder if
It's a different
Charlemagne
one.
knows who you are yet. Well,
does.
like
He
after
does.
that, like I wonder if he knows that you're doing your own thing and everything.
In there,
King TRell.
You know what? That stuck with me. It stuck with me. I calmed down after the fact, and I was just digesting that shit, and he was explaining who I was during that donkey of the day shit. And he was like, court jester. At the point, I'm like, what's a court jester? I'm like the clown, and I had to really look at it. I'm like, oh, these niggas really view me as like the whole ass nigga sitting to the side doing shit for people and taking up for niggas. I'm the side nigga. I'm like, I don't like that.
It fucked with you, huh?
Yeah, that fucked with me a lot. And I was like, I don't even view, I'm like, I own the clothing brand, I'm a part owner over here. I'm doing this over here. So you niggas really don't really respect me like that. Not just him. I'm just like, just this is what this how the world view me. I was like, I got to kind of get out of that and separate myself from that type of shit and find me. You know what I mean? Like, I've already done what I did for cuz. You do you got your respect level. You finna go ahead and, succeed in the music game. They gonna fuck with you, my nigga. They know what type of person you are now. I feel like, you a good nigga. You were just misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like you good. Now it's time for me to do me. You know what I mean? So that just kind of took me to a place where I was like, fuck, I gotta start kind of finding me.
That
You know
nigga
what I'm
said
saying?
Rack City out.
Nah, but that's so.
The whole gang, like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you thing, like it just doesn't seem that cool as the later you get into life. Like if
that shit was whack as
somebody
fuck.
has an issue with you and you're just like, I'm gonna kill you, it's just like when you're like 20, people probably be hyped. They'd be like, oh, he's gonna kill him. That's sick. He said he's gonna kill him. You know what? And then you just get older and it's just like, bro, really? Like that's how you're gonna respond to this? It just sounds goofy.
To be fair, like, especially doing this now, you see it's just the internet now.
Mm.
Back then, he's like, when I see you in L.A.,
When
I'm
I
going to
see
run
you,
into you.
I'm running into
And
you
it's a
for sure.
possibility.
Well,
I'm
because
BET
it's only
Awards,
yeah.
V8. I'm all the whole
You gonna
little shit.
go to-
I'm at Viacom.
But
You going to go to
I'm
Nice Guys.
everywhere.
You going to go to Main Road. You going to go somewhere.
Think about what
Yeah.
think about like what you're proposing there. Like if you actually shot Charlemagne, you think you would be a hero in hip hop history? Or you think
Okay.
you'd be a mega villain?
I don't think I was gonna shoot him.
I know, but you did say it.
That shit sound crazy.
Check it out, Groove.
But when you think about it in real life,
You talking about my girl.
you'd be like one of, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of people who are kind of famous in hip hop because they killed somebody that we all love. And we all know who they are, and it's fucking like those people don't exactly have like
You know
great
what I
reputations.
felt? You know what I felt like just looking back on that situation? I felt like those angry ass, dumbass rappers and gang members that's hollering at each other through the fucking FaceTime, talking about they finna kill each other and how embarrassing it looks. Like
I kill
I
people.
can't beat you up and you know what I'm saying, express how fucking like gangster I am through the fucking phone, or you know what I'm saying? Like it just sounds so fucking ignorant.
It's weak,
Like
man.
that was the weakest shit. When I look back at it, it took me like a day or two, and I'm like, damn, I'm embarrassed. You feel me? But it still it sparked something in my head, which took me like years to figure out like what I was passionate about clothes already, fashion, but I was like, it's something else there for me. I still felt like it was something missing. You feel me? Like,
Well, when someone comes at your lady sideways on such a big platform, you feel obligated, especially when it's like they're questioning your parenting. Like, there's so many elements at play. Of course, you're going to have like a vitriolic reaction. I agree, though, it's not cute when you hit a certain age to make like threats on people's lives. But out of everything you just said, I can so relate to like me feeling like over here, I get like treated like the sideshow, and I be getting roasted hella much, and I'm like, bruh, I'm like a figurehead in battle rap culture. I've created all this shit only to come over here and just be like, oh, I'm the fucking court jester.
Lush,
and shit.
you be starting shit and building your own grave.
No,
over
no,
here.
no.
But
for
you
sure.
you did
But that's
join a
just-
podcast where nobody gives a fuck about battle rap. Let's be real.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It
for
don't.
real.
But that's the thing, though.
Enough respect to him, but none of us give a shit.
That's the thing, though. And I came over here, humbled myself, like, hey, I'm going to do what I do over here and make my own name. Accolades mean nothing. If I resonate with this audience, great. If I get along with the people here, great. But I'm not going to lean on that whatsoever. But then, like, I was at a battle event last weekend, and everyone's just like, rocking with me so heavy and so happy with what I did over there. And even like fools were like, yeah, that shit with you and AD was fire, blah, blah, blah. Like all the tracks you did, like, we need us to hop in some diss tracks, let me know. Like, just like that energy, I was like, damn.
Yeah, all I did was intensify everything. All this shit over here. Especially, it just made you look just like a better person. I don't feel like you a court jester over here. It was just like,
That's how I felt for a while, though.
But, I don't know why. I mean, we not finna give you, like, super praise because you did X, Y, and Z in the battle rap shit. It's just like,
We don't know.
Just you a good personality. Like, we really don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
And I think your shit
mean-
was self-inflicted, though.
some of the shit.
Possibly.
You be
Some
doing
of the
this,
shit.
and you be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, you was
Nah.
throwing rocks? Yeah, you was throwing
Definitely.
rocks.
I was just doing what I thought was like, look, we making content. This is what's gonna make shit spicy. Let me throw in my own little flavor to the whoop-de-whoop, and then like, yeah. But I'm like, I welcome whatever comes my way.
I seen
boss.
some shit too.
What'd you seen?
The nigga Aye Verb,
Oh
dope,
yeah.
dope battle rapper.
Oh
He was
yeah.
like, "Are we looking at y'all like sheep?"
Yeah,
Said,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
About us?
Basically, like with the rap shit and everything like that.
There was, the battle rap community gonna try
They
to
ready.
They
They
gonna
doing
try
their
to-
studies.
They gonna try to take up for the boy one time, It
And
is
that's
a
when
shout-
I pull out a
shouts to my
TRell.
dog
I'll
Verb.
beat your ass. We ain't
to
trying to battle rap you niggas. We'll beat your ass.
I
No.
mean,
But that nigga, he a dope battle
No,
rapper.
yeah, Verb crazy.
I mean, but you
Fuck
came
up.
over here as a personality,
Yeah.
to talk about it and see what it do.
Look, all I'm saying is I related to what you were saying.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure,
It
for
resonated
sure.
with me. Like
For
that.
sure.
Yeah, that's all.
So
For sure.
who's sitting here saw the Chris Rock special last night?
I did. I seen it live. Me and
We're
my
the only
mom.
ones?
I saw part of it. Like I saw like just a clip of the Will Smith joke or whatever.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we were all able to talk about it, but maybe me and AD could just describe our thoughts about it. My thoughts are honestly like,
I heard it was mid.
it was super mid. It was like a few funny moments, and then you get to the end and he drops some Will Smith jokes, and it's like, realistically, if you were paying attention to the commentary that was going on in hip hop or in the outside world, all the jokes that he said were jokes that other people made within like the first 48 hours of the slap. Like it was some dated ass jokes that you would probably only find funny if you really weren't that tapped in.
It's an older Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Dave Chappelle has set the bar now of how this comedy shit is like pressing the line and shit like that. So it's like when I was watching it, me and my mom was looking at it, and I'm like, okay. Like the funniest joke to me, he said something like, an Asian lady was married to a caterpillar or something like that. And I was like, okay, I got a little laugh out of that. But other than that, I was like,
I got some laughs,
no,
but as a
cool.
whole,
No,
It's alright.
my thing is, after seeing that shit, like, you deserve that slap, my boy. You deserve to get the shit slapped out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for, like antagonizing this woman for the last 20 years, like, and then cop on him on national TV, call this woman a bitch again. You know what I'm saying? Like, not again, but just call her a bitch. And then talking
he
down
basically
on
explains how that whole narrative is
He said-
bullshit.
yeah, but even talking down on black women, but then
he wasn't talking down on black women. He was talking
tried
down
to
on
say-
her.
He tried to say she started it.
But
Yeah, she
Meghan
did.
Markle too, and he talking down on black women. He has a history of talking about down on black women and black women hair and this and that and the other.
He's a
but
comedian. He's got to
but-
make some fucking jokes.
but then but this again, he's saying, oh, we shouldn't slap each other in front of these white people.
yeah,
but you get
no. Jokes are okay.
Yeah.
Hitting people is not. You learn this in elementary school, right?
But being rude, you feel me, and saying rude shit and
It's not
and,
rude,
and an
it's him
angry
making jokes.
But we know this is not a joke towards Jada Pinkett calling
it
her a
is.
bitch.
She does.
we call women bitches all the time.
No, we fucking don't.
Yes, we do. It's the
Not
most
on
common
here.
thing in the world on hip hop.
Yeah, but if she had alopecia, bro. That's something that
that
she
shit
can't
funny
control.
too. She got a fucked up haircut.
He gonna slap your ass next.
Let's go.
Nah.
Listen, I'm saying he's a fucking comedian. He's got to be able to make jokes without about people deciding to just randomly virtue signal and say, oh, he's trashing black women. No, he's a motherfucking comedian making jokes about his own people. And yes, he feels comfortable making
When does the joke become personal? That's personal.
When somebody chooses to take it personal. When Will Smith goes crazy and smacks a motherfucker on stage and destroys his own career.
It was definitely personal, and Will should have waited until after the shit was done. You know what I'm saying? If he could have did the same shit.
Clearly, Will mishandled the situation. There's no denying that because you've seen what has become of his career, and it's not pretty.
But no,
what's become of his career? He just came out with a fucking another movie.
Yeah, Will's gonna be all right.
Yeah, one movie that they filmed before all that shit that they almost didn't even put out.
He got Bad Boys 4 coming out. He got motherfucking iRobot 2 coming. He's gonna be all right.
I'm not denying that he's gonna be all right. I'm just saying it's clearly had a massively negative impact on his career.
Oh, agreed.
During that time, I don't think now people are like agreeing with this slap. You feel me? Like,
nobody agrees with the slap.
What are you not looking
There
at
was
the
a lot of
comments?
people like you who were agreeing with it at the
Yes.
time, but I feel like essentially everybody who agreed with it at the time should probably be able to admit by now that it was a terrible idea in the sense that it amplified whatever magnifying glass was already on his wife in the first place. It amplified the bullying and the hating and the hate that she was getting so much. Like, if his intent with slapping him was basically to like somehow minimize the amount of abuse his wife was taking, I'm sorry, it had the exact opposite impact. It made everybody talk about it.
On top of that, then the Academy could go back to whitewashing the entire industry because that's the first Academy Awards where they're focusing heavily on inclusion. What? They're focusing heavily on inclusion, and then what happens? That kind of puts like a whole stain on that entire trajectory. So then it's back to like, you feel me? Tom Cruise and all these
Angelina Jolie,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, even Chris Rock, like how he handled the situation, saying she's a bitch and everything like that. I mean, at that point, it was
in our community. You should have said that
back then
when he slapped you.
But
you feel me?
To be fair, like,
because this joke is personal.
He's trying to be
He waited
professional.
a year. He waited a year to speak on it, and you got to give him some credit for that because it would have been the easiest thing in the fucking world for him to come out and be doing a special talking about it right afterwards. I think him waiting a year is pretty tasteful, especially considering that he was the victim in this situation. But yeah,
he said he's not the victim.
He might not feel like the victim, but he is the one who got smacked in the face by Will Smith on TV, a much larger man. I mean, I'm sorry. You essentially are the victim here regardless. If there was a police report or if there was a lawsuit involved, you would be the victim. So he might not feel like a victim or want to present himself that way. But, I mean, I did notice that when he said the bitch word in the fucking stand-up special, that it did feel like, that's not normally something that you would see a comedian like Chris Rock say about another woman who's kind of like his peer. So to see that he was really like holding on to that sort of anger that he had towards her, it was a little interesting.
At that point, man, and your tone of voice, that shit was personal, dog.
We'll need to come get you again.
She does seem like a bitch, though.
That shit was personal, dog. I mean, you could say that in that context, like, oh, she does seem like a bitch, but you can't be like, nigga, fuck that bitch.
She knows her way better than us, so I'm gonna just kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. Right?
I'm not gonna call your girl a bitch because I feel like I crack jokes.
If my girl did some bitch ass shit, then I would expect you to call her a bitch.
I don't know. Out of respect for you, we're never gonna call her no bitch.
Okay, but you and me are a little closer than Chris Rock and Will Smith, right?
We don't know.
True, but I mean, we're on a show together, so.
Didn't Jada afterwards like talk down about Will doing that? Like,
yeah.
That's why I said it made it even worse.
And that's why, like, anybody who would argue that, Will was badass when he did that, as soon as she condemned it, it's kind of like, okay, you can't really keep acting like this is a W.
It's only one thing. Like, I agree with Chris Rock. What he said though is that there were a lot of people calling him a bitch. You know what I'm saying, for the August Alsina thing. Like, everybody was attacking him, and he felt like you chose to get mad at me,
right?
Versus everybody else. I respect that.
He's been emasculated in front of the world.
But this is the thing: is that was Chris Rock's joke? It's like you smacked me when your wife was fucking your son's friend. There were people making that joke 5 minutes after he slapped him on Twitter. Like, that was the first joke that most people thought of after this shit happened. He waited a year and said the exact same joke.
Remember
now,
dancing to the shit. Entanglement with
Chris
August.
Rock,
Entanglement.
No, and he did that joke too. He's like, I haven't had any entanglements. It's like, okay, we all heard that joke within 5 minutes of this shit happening too.
And a lot of people that were bringing up that joke who had that in mind right after that shit happened, they were on their ass. I ain't heard from they ass since either. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't made any of those jokes fucking since.
Only one person.
Why not?
Andrew Schultz.
Why do you think people stop making those
just
jokes?
because of just because of the relationships. You feel me? Like
Nobody got a relationship with Will Smith.
well, it is.
Andrew Schultz
it is
ain't gonna just
industry-
run into Will Smith.
But it's just
Andrew
industry
Schultz went
politics,
hard.
right?
Yeah.
It's industry politics. A lot of shit is still being controlled. Like you still got production companies that still fuck with Will Smith. It's a lot of
Smith
things.
ain't stopping
It's a lot
shit.
of shit that he definitely can
Will
stop.
can definitely
dog.
stop some shit.
Not right now. He
Yes,
gotta
he
no.
can.
He's everybody's
What?
making fun of him, and he can't do shit about it.
He can buy no jumper right now.
No. I would have to sell it.
Yeah,
And
he
what
would
would he do if he bought it? Oh, cool. I have a building. And
Yeah.
social media
He gonna
accounts.
sit here with us.
Cool. I have a Twitter account with like 50% less
He gonna
followers.
be yelling at Lush.
1/50th of the followers of his own social media
Should have
accounts.
become a
Hell yeah.
Scientology platform.
Hey, but Vlad said that he would sell Vlad for $100 million. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was thinking about it. That's a lot. That's,
$100
I don't
million
know.
for
I
no
don't know.
jumper?
Yeah, all right,
That's-
fine. Because it makes no sense. It's not worth that. So for sure, for $100 million, you could have that.
Basically, he's trying to outprice it because he doesn't want to sell it.
Vlad said that because he's like, oh, this is a number I wouldn't do it for, or that I would do it for. So I'll just acknowledge that, even though
Y'all not giving me that, so let's just stop there.
exactly like would he do it for 50? Would he do it for 40? I don't know. Probably those are a lot closer to like numbers that maybe somebody would actually throw out there. But I did want to say, did you see Boosie saying that he gets paid $40,000 for an interview?
Yeah.
Damn.
Do we believe that though?
And that's the first thing I thought about was Vlad. I was like, damn, Vlad giving him that
Well,
joint.
he got to be talking about Vlad because he just did a Vlad interview right before he said that. Do I believe it? Yeah, because Vlad reposted it as like a news article right afterwards, like on his website. He posted Boosie giving that quote. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. Very few times in my life, like almost 0 times, have I ever made $40,000 off of one interview. Like that's a fucking crazy number. But I will say that with Vlad, he gets interviews out of Boosie. Like, he doesn't get regular Boosie interviews.
No.
Boosie talking about Gunna snitching and talking about T.I. fucking snitching on his dead homie or whatever, like, all that shit, like, it has occurred to me when I'm watching that, like, why is Boosie just giving it up like this? Like he could have totally like held back a little bit more, but Boosie is sitting in there doing interviews with Vlad like he is just by himself, just talking to the fucking mirror, like saying everything that's going on in his head. So I don't know. Maybe at a certain point there is a conversation with Vlad where he's like, listen, like, I'm gonna pay you more for this interview, but you can't hold back at all. Like, we need the craziest shit
He's
possible.
definitely an integral part of Vlad. Like, every time Boosie goes on there, everybody pays attention. He says some of the wildest, funniest shit every single time. So
You don't really do too much other interviews. I wonder if there's an exclusivity clause in that. 40
It's not
grand or-
exclusive, but I think that they've had the conversation about like, yo, don't be giving out the sauce to everybody else for
I'm
free.
not paying you niggas shit.
I seen him do
Nah.
Drink Champs and maybe a couple others over the years. I know Boosie been leaving me on red about an interview for years. Like he was on when we did the little Boosie thing or the little blurry thing.
See that?
Yeah,
But-
they said because his car
See,
almost got
that's
stolen.
But-
Maybe I need to be like, hey, I got 20K. I know it ain't a Vlad
But that
interview,
fuck
but
shit up. You feel me? When you got this next man over here paying, these rap niggas think they supposed to be getting paid for this shit like this is another outlet for them to
Right.
get a cash grab. And I just want to let y'all know, I'm not paying you niggas nothing. I'm going to tell you that right now.
You
nigga.
either coming off the love or nothing.
I will talk to my homies forever, bitch, before I pay you niggas a motherfucking dime, nigga, to do anything. So you can take your bitch ass to Power 106 and 92.3 to be. Y'all can do all that for free, bitch. You can come here for free, and it's the same amount of exposure, if not more. So I don't want to hear
There's
none of
way
that
more.
shit.
this is the
Real
thing
shit.
about
Way more.
this is
Real
the
shit.
thing about Boosie and Vlad though is that Boosie and Vlad are basically like in business together, So if I were Vlad, I probably once I had this good thing going with Boosie, I might have been more inclined to just say, hey, let's do these interviews and we'll just chop it up. We'll come up with a split, whether it's 60-40 or 50-50 or whatever, like, and I'll just give you the money. I mentioned that to Vlad before. I was like, do you ever do that kind of deal? And he basically said that the overhead of dealing with the billing and everything, that he doesn't do that. Everybody he fucks with, he gives them a flat fee, and that's it. Which, it makes sense, but, I mean, the flat fee, us realizing 40K is just like, oh, holy fuck.
And
like,
then
that's some serious shit.
and it does, make them inclined to want to come back each time and just give say some even crazy shit.
I mean, but that
yeah.
40K would be worth it if his interview just doesn't make 40K. You still bring in people to
Yeah.
the platform because they're going to watch everything.
If he
not
breaks
just
even or
his-
loses a little bit
Yeah.
of money, it's still like, well, there's probably mad people that are gonna do Vlad because of the fact that they saw these Boosie ones, and you know,
Yeah.
there's other rappers I've seen where I'm like, I know he paid that motherfucker, but then I see other people come on afterwards, and I'm like, I don't think he paid him, but I think he's here because he saw so and so do it.
I mean, if
Yeah.
somebody's a recurring person on your platform and is working every single time, of course it'd be like, you know what? Let's find a way to keep making this a great
But the
business
thing
relationship.
I'm fascinated by is just like, all right, I can imagine the first time that Boosie was like, hey, Vlad, I need some money for this interview. And Vlad was like, all right, I'll give you 5K. And then maybe next one's even bigger. He's like, all right, we're going to give you 10K. It's just kind of hard for me to imagine Boosie continuing to ask and then, or however it went, and the number just keep going up like that, like up to 40K. Because 40K, like for people who don't know about YouTube, that is a shitload of money.
But if I'm giving you 40K and I'm a businessman and I'm smart, I'm gonna give you 40K for X amount of interviews, bitch. I'm not giving you 40K.
no,
for
I think that's
interview.
one interview. At least
One
based on
interview
what
sounds
Boosie said.
crazy.
He could be lying, but I think that's what he's
I
saying.
mean, but I'm asking, and that's just even any fucking brand, like brand deals. Like they want to give you 10K for X amount of shows, X amount of this. Like one show, like it sounds crazy. I mean, but if you want to give him that, and it is lucrative for him because of the overall picture. I mean, hey, I can't down him. I
and
mean,
then
shit.
too-
If it's working, it's working.
Then too, Vlad gonna put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
He's gonna chop it up into 20
what I was about to
different
say.
videos.
16 different clips
He's
that all
gonna
get a million.
gonna put it on all other platforms. So that 40K, it might even out.
Vlad told me
Right.
that it wasn't this Boosie interview, and it probably wasn't the one before that. It was like some other one, and I remember he just mentioned that it got like 30 million views, like across all the clips, 40 million views, some shit like that. And I mean, those are crazy numbers. Now, granted, a lot of those clips of Boosie are like 3 minutes long, and anybody who's on YouTube knows that like an 8-minute clip will make sometimes like 10 times or 5 times as much money as like a 3-minute clip. So that does make me wonder. But then he's also putting the shit on Facebook. You know, it's like a bunch of different shit. And I think Vlad just has like a real long-term mentality in the sense that like if he does lose money on it in the short term, I feel like Vlad is somebody who's just like whatever. Like, and let's be real, like the Boosie Vlad combo is like one of the best duos in hip hop in the sense that they just keep doing numbers over and over and over. And a lot of times they're doing like 6-7 fucking interviews in a year. Like they do an interview, get a month worth of clips, and then boom, to run it back immediately after.
Real shit.
And hats off to Vlad for thinking of shit that's interesting to ask him still, because for me, I don't even know what I would really ask Boosie at this
Well,
point.
he's like doing social commentary basically now, right?
Well,
Like,
but everything that you could ever want to ask Boosie is kind of out the window. I think you're not gonna like think of too many things to be able to ask him that would like surprise him, right?
I think really at the end of the day, he's paying for the cultural capital, the overall relevance. Like people are gonna now want to just. Vlad is the go-to source for that type of content, and he has like a recurring cast of interviewees like that always.
Tony
come
Yayo on the list now, yeah.
Yeah, before it was Lord Jamar, before they fell out and all that. China Mac for a 2nd, like so, like it's like just it's the same thing as essentially No Jumper paying its podcasters as employees. It's just like the little side characters.
It's just he never has like a consistent thing with people. Like if Boosie stopped delivering and the Boosie interviews started to do dog shit views, he would just probably
Move on.
move on, or because I've seen him do it. Like I've seen Vlad do an interview with somebody, have it go crazy, and then he'll interview him again immediately, goes crazy, interview him immediately again, not doing so good. All of a sudden, the interviews get a lot more spaced out, you know. But then with somebody like Tony Yayo or Boosie, I mean, Vlad is in there, and you know, it's like if you want people to be exclusive to you like that, and if you want to fucking keep running those interviews back over and over, you're definitely gonna have to break bread with them. I guess I was just surprised at 40K because it's realistically like 2 hours of Boosie's time.
He's literally interviewed everybody involved in the whole Tupac saga. It's like he's done everything short of having a seance and interviewing Pac's ghosts. He's literally had every single character, like to the point. He's had BG Knockout on there like 5 times, you know? Like,
I have more than that over the
Yeah,
years, yeah.
yeah.
But that was the thing is like when I look at Vlad, I'm like, damn, like he's been doing content way longer than me, and he was focused longer than me. Like he got the game. Like the whole thing that I get now of like, oh, if you meet somebody with a dope personality, you should try to like build out consistent content with him. He just figured that out a long ass time ago, bro. One of his biggest interviews was fucking what's his name, Slim Jesus. He ran those
Man.
Slim Jesus interviews
Yep.
back to back to back to back. He probably made millions off fucking Slim Jesus.
I think that's still his most viewed clip.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is the one where he like said, "I'm not really a gangster."
When Slim Jesus was doing his thing, I don't even think I had a podcast. I was just watching YouTube videos and laughing.
That was right around the time I think No Jumper Long because it's 2015.
Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking about interviewing like gangster ass rappers yet at the time.
And I was trying to sign Slim Jesus.
Slim
like,
Jesus
right
is
after,
the most
like,
gangster rapper.
We literally had a $200,000 deal on the table for him, and he turned it down.
That was a David Alki thing?
Yeah.
Really?
He turned down $200K.
Probably the smartest thing he ever did.
No, he fucked up. He never would have got that much money again in his career.
Yeah, but
He
like
should have snatched it.
at least he knows that
What?
he fucked up his own career, whereas if he had signed to David Alki, his career would have got fucked up and then he never would have known if maybe
He still would have been 200 up. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm finna. Now we talking about, you know what I'm saying, people doing this, people doing these hip hop platforms. You know, they
Yeah.
interviewing people these hip hop platforms, and a lot of rappers getting to come on, telling their story and doing their thing. How much, you know, of hip hop, you know, do we think like Adam or Vlad gives a fuck about? You know what I'm saying? Like, and, like, do they give a fuck about it? And how much, like, do we feel like the artist gives a fuck about how much Adam gives a fuck about actually hip hop?
Here's my theory on Adam. Adam is.
I'm saying that only because I'm finna lean into this dude.
I already know what you about to say.
No,
I know what's about to happen.
I know where you're
Yeah.
going with this too. But as far as Adam goes, Adam downplays how much he loves hip hop. I think this dude is a super hip hop head.
I'm kind of at
that-
an all-time low, I'm gonna be honest with you.
But with what's currently going on,
Yeah.
but you're still like, I guarantee you still have Cameron songs on your playlist.
I'm kind of like
You
an
still-
angry hip hop fan because I'm annoyed that there's not that much rap that I'm all that
I just
excited
think that
about.
you're old now. You feel like the era is gone.
I don't think so. I think that rap is just stale as fuck right now.
A lot of it does have to do with age because look at Suspect. He's super excited about all the new rap.
He's in his
spends-
20s.
Exactly. So it's an age thing to an extent.
But I'm gonna be real, like all the rappers the Suspect listens to are Draco clones. No offense or anything, but like it's like I already been through the real deal. It's like it's hard for me to get used to like listening to fool. And honestly, when Greedo sent me a bunch of unreleased songs, I was like, oh, there it is. There it
Greedo's
is.
new shit is amazing.
There it is. I'm like, that's some shit that I'm actually gonna get in my car and like listen to over and over because I think it's hard like that. There's not many rappers that I really put in that
But
box
I
these days.
feel like when House Phone was like bringing up certain artists, like he always found somebody that was like, oh, like he's the next one, like Yeet and Summers and all these other people that I didn't know about. You know what I mean? But like, you know, to me, it's an age thing,
Right.
You know, and a regional thing too, where it's like, I don't listen to.
Yeah,
it.
I'm not like gonna
but-
boldly like be as excited about Yeet as all these like 17-year-old kids in the Channel 5 videos
But
freaking
now-
out about him. I don't give a fuck like that. I'm not trying to like Yeet in order to fit in. I'm just kind of like whatever. If I like it, I like it.
But if you search for it, there is like the type of hip hop you like exists. You just have to like.
But I don't
dig
want to
in the
hear
grades
yeah,
for
but
it.
I don't want to hear shit just remaking a bunch of shit that I already listened to. Like if you sound like Mobb Deep, that's dope. But I already listened to Mobb Deep. I don't need a bunch of fucking 2023 Mobb Deep clones.
Yeah,
Just
but I
saying.
say that to say, like, you know, we niggas ain't really listening to hip hop like that. But this is a platform. But should these artists say, oh, they not listening to hip hop like that? So should you fucking boycott this fucking platform, or you know what I'm saying? Should you start talking shit about us?
Fucking
Because
artists ain't
we
listening
like-
to hip hop either.
Yeah,
They ain't
like-
listening to none of this shit. I ask them what they listen to. They tell me all these rappers from 10 years ago. Even if they're like in their mid-20s, they're like, yeah, you know, I grew up on Wayne. I listen to like a little bit of Young Boy. They're like, they don't sound excited about hip hop either, and they're young as fuck. Even the drill rappers, they don't sound excited about other drill rappers. They're killing them.
That's what I'm saying. So when Doknow gets up here and he says he's really not excited about hip hop, he doesn't listen to this or he doesn't listen to that. Now he's being ridiculed. He's being condemned for everything that he's saying.
It's not his
Like-
fault. It's the rapper's fault.
Yeah.
They need to make some good music.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, Doknow being criticized for not. First of all, Doknow is a hip hop head. He also downplays.
He's a rapper.
Yeah. But here's the other
The
thing.
homies.
People, there are so many bigger problems with modern terrestrial radio than if a certain host likes hip hop or not. We're talking about Clear Channel having a controlled playlist that all these DJs have zero say on what's getting
And
played.
that's what I said in the interview with DeJon, where it's literally, it doesn't matter which race you are, you're going to have to go work at the radio station and do the exact same thing. And I don't think Doknow is like nobody's going to Power 106 looking for Doknow's hip hop history or what he feels like. No, they like the nigga funny. We like him. It's something dope. Like that's. I mean, me personally, one of the reasons I'm gonna listen to Power 106 now is to listen to the Brown Bag Pod because I'm like, hey, that's dope what they do and what they talk about.
I'll
I'm
probably
not
just
going
listen
there
to the
music.
pod. They still do the pod, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I'll
also
just listen to that. I ain't
we're
listen
in
to the
Los-
radio version.
We're in Los Angeles, where over 50% of the population is Hispanic. For there not to be that representation would be even more egregious.
Okay, but that's
Like,
the whole thing. And DeJon's argument, which nobody seems to want to like
No,
specify
and
correctly.
it's a real argument that
But-
we need to have more of our people,
Right.
since it is hip hop, included into the radio.
And
I
I
agree.
don't have a dog in this
That-
fight.
that's true.
I
But
agree
wait,
with that.
listen, when DeJon is doing these protests and when you have Tariq Nasheed outside of Power 106 and shit, what is it about? They're saying that there's not enough black people on the radio station. So what does Power do? Hey, we're going to take 3 Hispanic people and we're going to give them the morning show. And then I actually went, because I was curious, I went and looked at the Power 106 lineup. There are black people on the channel and everything, but it would appear to me that the vast majority of
Shout out to DJ Wavy.
the
That's my
big
guy.
people, the main people on the platform do seem to be all Hispanic, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all, but I'm saying that DeJon's point and Tariq Nasheed's point was, why the fuck are there not black hosts on the channel? And I mean, I think it is.
It does. It does.
If there was
That's
almost
true,
no
too.
black people on here and it was all white and Hispanic people, don't you think that everybody would be kind of saying like, oh, it would make sense if there were some black people?
Yeah,
on No
niggas will
Jumper,
be looking
right?
at you crazy too.
Yeah.
I mean, out of 30 people, there's only 4 black people that work here. 5.
Of the on-air hosts, I think me and him
just
are the only
period.
white ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even thinking about the staff. Let's just say
Well,
on-camera
Get
hosts.
to that. It's
Let's
different.
get to that.
The staff is, I mean, very, very mixed. I'm not trying to get into all that.
No, it's
but-
not. There's 5 of us.
What are you talking about?
But no.
Okay, you could do that little,
Okay,
little monologue. Yeah.
pretty-
No, but in
it's
terms
pretty
of the
diverse.
on-camera personalities, I'm white and he's a Jew.
Okay.
That's it.
You starting to turn the tide.
Hold on. You
You
know,
got
just
Danny
Butler.
Mullen is white,
What's
but
that-
he's not technically
What's
on the
that other
channel.
guy you about to have now? What's his
Who?
name? Zertsu?
Zertsu. Yes.
okay, just let's let the
Dessert
record
soup.
reflect. You feel me? Let's let the record reflect. We let that young man come back on here because a lot of people felt like the first time he was on here, we handled that situation kind of unprofessionally or whatever the case may be. So we
Gina
let
running
him.
up.
We let him get his thing off.
Kiki in
we
the
let
background.
him. We let him get his narrative off. We let him talk, and get his point of views off. Do I agree with him? No, you feel me? I let him do his report card thing, and share his views on shit. Do I agree? Absolutely fucking not.
What's
You
the
feel
part
me?
you don't agree with?
I
That
mean,
report card is-
when you come on here and you call us employees, I mean you definitely is in a disrespectful manner. You feel me? But you want to assign applications, to get a job and beg the white man for a radio job and then beg the white man to play black music. This is not our radio station. You know what I'm saying? They're not obligated to play black music, hip hop, or they're not obligated to hire your ass. And if you have a platform of your own, like I said, a lot of artists out here, we're getting more views. You feel me? There's more attention on us.
But he
You
wasn't
feel me?
saying hire me. He was saying hire black people.
I do.
right?
But still, when you
I do agree
hire
that it should
hire
be
black
more-
people, yeah.
It should be more black people.
But what's-
in
It
It
radio.
could, but
There's
even
nothing wrong with
if
it.
it's a black person in
True.
radio,
they gotta do
LA
the same
radio
thing.
is LA music itself is stagnant. Having a black person in there, you feel like it's gonna be high behind a thing trying to play a new RJ song. It's not gonna do shit.
I agree.
For Los Angeles
it's
radio.
not going to do shit realistically,
music.
and that's why
Yeah.
if I was DeJon, I would not be wasting time on this
Don't
fucking
waste
campaign.
any time.
But I do think that calling institutions into question and saying, "Hey, like you guys don't seem to be representing our community in the right way," or whatever. I mean, it seems pretty reasonable. He did a protest. He went outside there. It's not like they were beating anybody up. They were just making the point aware. And then Power 106 said, "Fuck you. We don't give a shit. We're hiring Doknow."
Isn't Big Boy the biggest?
Well, Big
yeah,
Boy-
I mean,
Big Boy went to
why are you
92.3.
begging these
Right,
niggas
But
for
that
a
was
job?
years ago. Yeah.
No, but
Right.
But Big Boy is the biggest LA radio personality.
Yeah,
in
he's on a
history.
different station.
He on
Yeah.
Right,
92.3.
Right.
But he's not playing the new.
No.
None of these hosts have
Do
any
anything.
say in what they play at all.
And
That's
that's
my
why,
point.
and that's why I think DJ Head, like, he don't get enough respect because he is probably one of the only DJs that will go against anything to play West Coast music. Charisma too, yes. Charisma, the Leakers,
Sour Milk, yeah.
Sour Milk, Just Incredible. There is a lot of people that do try to play West Coast music, but you can't fault DeJon for saying, I want more people to try.
But use
more
your
people
own,
that look like
but
us to do
use your
that.
own platform, build your
I
own
agree.
platform, and then have them and support them like that. Like that shit is a losing battle. You feel me? Like that shit is a
What if there was
losing battle.
what if there was an Amazon fulfillment center in the middle of Compton and there's no black people working there? Do you think it would be fair for a bunch of black people to get together and hold signs and say, "Hey, this is fucked up. Jeff Bezos, hire some black people"?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. I mean,
it's
but
similar, right?
if Jeff Bezos says fuck it, I mean, we ain't obligated. I mean, that's still Amazon.
Well, there are laws in
feel me?
place when it comes to businesses like that would say, "Oh no, you need to hire. You can't just not
Yeah.
hire any black people." Which apparently the radio station is too small to. And
mean,
I'm
you
not saying
need-
that there's no black people there. It just DeJon's point would be that there aren't that many black
Radio
hosts.
personalities, you'll see the personalities. If you bring it up, there's not many, but we don't know what's going on inside their building.
Because you said, "Oh, no black people want to work there. No black person would take the job." I'm like, TRell,
There's a lot of people that's known.
They
and
definitely, everybody would take a shot.
you would be crazy not to take the
a
job.
morning show. First, I'm not doing no morning show, and I'm not crazy.
T-Rail
don't wanna
in
get
the
up?
morning.
They really have to give me a lot of bread for me to wake up at 4 in the morning.
No, I
I'm not
agree
even
with that,
gonna lie to you.
but I'm saying that like even for somebody like me, being on LA radio in the morning or whatever, that's a pretty big deal. Like
That's a very big deal.
could take
Yeah.
your career and move it to another level.
I would love to do it.
But let's just
Love it.
let's
I would
count,
do it.
let's just cut out the morning show and let's get to the rest of the fucking day with radio. Period. And a lot of people I know that's turned down a job, bigger DJs and you know more accomplished DJs said I'm not going to that shit. It's a 9 to 5. You feel me? And they're not paying exceptionally well. Let's just get that out the way. Like, and
You
it's
know
not
how much
gonna
Duno's
do,
making?
and it's not gonna do
He's getting
not
paid.
exactly.
You know
but
how
he's
much?
Definitely
Yeah.
getting paid.
Duno is definitely beneficial for Duno.
Yeah,
like
it's
to
definitely beneficial for Duno, and I think Duno is in the right place. I mean, to hire some black people or more black people, I don't think that's gonna do anything for Los Angeles music.
It definitely won't. It's all optics.
Yeah,
it's all just like how
no.
the website team page looks
But we
because
should-
it's not going to change anything.
not gonna
We
change
should have
anything.
more representation when it comes down to that. And I think
Absolutely, but there's still so many more bigger problems with terrestrial radio.
Oh,
off rip.
100%.
It occurs. The real
It's a
problem.
business.
The
Yeah.
problem for radio is that this might be like the last radio conversation we ever have.
Probably.
Because I don't
For real.
feel like the whole time that we've been doing No Jumper, I don't know that we've ever really had like serious conversations about the radio besides this. So shout out to DeJon for actually making us talk about it. But it's like nobody gives a fuck. None of us listen to the radio. It's like a thing
like a
that
dinosaur.
it appeals to this tiny percentage of people, and I'm not hating on the people who are on it. Every single person who's on there knows it. You ever have a conversation with Bootleg Kev about the fucking radio? He's still on the radio. He gets it. He knows it's fucked.
and he's syndicated all over the place.
There
Too, so
is-
that's what
yeah.
makes him
and,
more
and
worthy.
there's nobody on earth who's excited about the radio,
Begging
including
these-
the people who work
yeah,
there.
begging these people for a job for some shit that's gonna potentially end in a minute anyway. It's like crazy to me. It's ludicrous. Take your time and take your energy somewhere else and build your own platform and support these artists this way. And hopefully you'll grow. Hopefully you'll get some backing. Hopefully you'll have some brand deals back you or whatever the case may be. And try to do that and focus on that. You put your energy into that. Having them on the radio, see, it's just like a losing battle. And like that argument is just crazy. And then picking it on top of that. And then just calling these people out their names. This lady's a bitch. DJ Head's a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm
was
saying?
saying
Not
all
quote
that?
unquote. No, he called some lady a bitch, but he didn't call DJ Head a hoe. He just said fuck
He
DJ
said fuck
Head.
him.
But I forgot the lady name. What was her name?
Irene.
He called her a bitch. Like these are like bad relationships. Like you still gotta be like you gotta hold some type of politics in this shit.
We need someone like him. We need somebody who doesn't give a fuck about getting along with everybody like you and you.
And but do you? Yeah, but
I just said fuck
in
white
music,
people.
but even AD no, like in music, you can't say shit like that. You feel me? There are people that's holding shit still, like
100%.
relationships. Like, oh, don't fuck with him, him, and him.
But isn't it great when somebody comes along and doesn't give a fuck about maintaining relationships?
if you do it right,
Because I've seen it. When I came into the BMX game, I did not know a single pro, a single company. I was saying everything that I felt like fucking saying. And then all of a sudden, I start meeting everybody in the industry. All of a sudden, my fucking viewpoints get watered down. I don't want to talk shit about this person and that person. And speaking of, make your March Madness a moneymaker with MyBookie. Getting started is easy. Visit MyBookie online and use promo code NOJUMPER, one word, to receive a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Grab your extra funds now and for a limited time, claim a free entry into the $150,000 MyBookie Madness bracket contest for a chance at big money. If you're the type of guy who likes to fill out multiple brackets to get an advantage, you can do that too. The price of entry is less than an Uber, all for a shot at life-changing amounts of money with so many brands to choose from, you need a platform that makes it simple to bet and win like MyBookie. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Yes, sir.
Anyway.
I think that the fact that you actually go outside is the reason why you couldn't continue to do that. But Akademiks, he stays to himself. He's in his little bubble. He's able to still, as he grows, talk as much shit as he wants.
True. But he's also in an island of his own.
Right, that's what I'm saying, though. But that island protects him from any outside influence, as to where he's able to essentially still go hard with his opinions in ways that we can't because we be outside.
I mean, you still can't, but it's like
Not to that extent, though.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, as far as for me, like, people will say, oh, you PC, you don't say this and say that. And it's like, yeah, like, people don't understand. And a lot of this was TRell's old homie. And then I shot myself in the foot with a lot of opportunities in my life because of how I used to just say things and do things and be associated with certain groups and shit like that.
But the things that you say on camera that are going to make it difficult for you to go outside are also the things that are going to make you a legend as a broadcaster.
Well,
because when Akademiks goes on camera and says all this crazy ass shit about YSL, it's like, it all of a sudden makes me realize that I have a little bit of a weakness because of the fact that I've spent time hanging out with those YSL guys and that I don't want to talk shit about them. I also don't really consider it my thing. Like, I don't really like go crazy talking about the news like that. I'm not dying to have like a controversial viewpoint or whatever. But the reason why people will go to Akademiks to watch him on stream is because they know he's not going to hold back about the
He's definitely gonna
YSL
go
shit,
crazy.
right? You know?
But if you talk about an artist and you're like, yo, that album sucks,
Yeah.
you could essentially affect their sales. They're going to get super pissed off at you, and it's going to become a whole thing.
Well,
But that's
it's
the thing
it's-
for somebody like me is that there's very little of a W to be had by saying an album sucks, unless it's like if it's a huge album, if the new Kanye album comes out and I think it sucks, that's one thing. But it's like if the new Glorilla album comes out and people say it sucks or I want to say it sucks, it doesn't really benefit me because I just don't really want to have that kind of relationship with like young artists. And you'll notice that with like almost everybody in media. It's like most people in media and hip hop are not really dying to tell you that some new artist shit sucks, because they know it's not going to look good. A young artist is supposed to suck. The fans love having that conversation, and there's a whole league of YouTubers who are going to make videos about every single L that up-and-coming artists take. But as you get more established, it just kind of starts to feel like low-hanging fruit.
Well, Dan, how do you feel about, that young man critiquing only LA artists and then, critiquing them to the fact to where, like, damn, like, it might make them feel some type of way, feel bad, it might make an artist feel like, you know what, damn, I might not want to make music. I might need to get better. And it might put you into another hole, and it's only the West Coast, and that's more of a box we just put
If some
our
random
artists in.
journalist talking shit about your music is going to be enough to make you stop making music, you weren't
Shouldn't do
supposed
it.
to be making
No,
music in the
I
first
think-
But
place.
those
Get some
opinions
thicker
are
skin.
so
I think
arbitrary.
it's-
He gave blast to fucking C
For what?
for like his
Just
overall,
music.
yeah.
But I think that I look at it like that'll make people work harder. Where it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? They will want to be like, you know what, next year, even though a lot of people say, oh, I don't give a fuck about it, but they give a fuck about
But
it
that's
because
your
we keep talking
opinion,
about
though.
it. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Some niggas might be like,
Some niggas are like, I want to slap the shit out the niggas. You feel me?
or like, fuck, or start reading into comments, or like, damn, am I really nasty?
But
You
Good.
feel me?
Toughen up.
But it's like this though.
Toughen
if
up,
it's
pussy.
too hot,
Yeah.
get out the kitchen.
Yeah.
If you afraid to come on here and I can't take the comments, or I can't take this, or I can't take that, then this is not the business for
This
you.
random, not that he's random, but this blogger dissing you is the least of your problems.
Yeah.
The fact that the fans don't even know who you are and don't give a fuck about the music that you're releasing, that's your problem.
But if the
100%.
fans, but
He's
when
doing
the-
you a huge favor by even
Acknowledging
evaluating
you.
and acknowledging
And
you.
acknowledging
Because
you.
guess what? All the fans have not even heard your music. And if they
Yeah.
do hear your music, they're not going to keep listening
And
to it.
to be called trash and them knowing you is better to be being unknown at all.
I mean, but is it though? Because like, if the fans' first exposure to you is you just got rated a D-, oh, I'm not checking for you. You a D-.
But whose fault is that? It ain't his fault. He's a reviewer.
That's just the way that like.
yeah, but if
that's
you get,
basic psychology
but if,
though,
but
right?
If, but if he get that D- and then you hear that name and he comes back and he gets a better grade, like, hey, he stepped his shit up, you may be inclined
So
to go
who
listen
you
to
putting
him.
the power in his hands?
It's not
to make
his
sure
job
you-
to help their career.
You feel me?
It's
Like-
his job to say whatever his fucking opinion is.
I mean, if somebody
That's true, yeah.
If somebody could jump out the gate that's unknown and start having these conversations and everybody is getting involved and having their take on it, nigga doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Also, like LA is just as a region, we never have supported our own artists. And we're
No.
like, if you look at
That's because of gangbanging, though.
well, and that's a big part of it for sure. But look at like the Bay Area. The Bay literally plays local artists on terrestrial radio. Has like
Shout out to Big Von.
yeah,
Samuel.
Vaughn, Rick Lee, like all these dope ass, all Sana G, all these dope DJs out there actually put on local artists. When they have like this summer jam, there's local artists opening up and performing at it, and it's created this whole culture where artists are able to eat, and then some of them wind up transcending and being broken as national acts.
One, I want to know who owns these radio stations. Is it
Clear
iHeart?
Channel.
Clear Channel.
Clear Channel. And
Clear
iHeart.
Channel. So is that
Yeah.
what is Power 106 under?
I don't even know, but one of them.
One of those two.
92,
one of those-
92 is
Every
iHeart,
radio
Clear.
station in the
So they
country
probably
damn near is
created-
owned by one or two.
And that's
or a
crazy that
handful.
you brought up that as far as the politics with Los Angeles, because that could be one of the biggest things that could be hurting us as far as radio and like performing at these festivals and shit like that. Because obviously you can see what my boy happened to Draco or whatever the case may be, R.I.P. my boy. But we can't get together and rally up and do anything together without some bullshit like this happening. You know what I'm saying? So they probably want to steer clear away from whatever we have going on. And to a certain extent, I don't fucking blame
It's a
them.
Well,
liability.
this is not the first time. Let's go back to Bishop Lamont and everybody. They were mad at Power 106 back then. They literally marched to Power 106. A whole bunch of rappers that was like on the cuffs, like J-Rock, Bishop Lamont, G Malone.
To be fair, that was when
Bad Luck.
radio kind of mattered more back then, right?
Yeah,
It did,
for
for
real.
sure.
But it's the same fight.
In the
Better now.
90s, I could understand artists being pissed off at the,
No, this
the
wasn't
radio.
the 90s.
This is like
Right.
2008.
This is like, 2008,
Even then, it's
2010.
like 15 years ago. That back then, I could still see it where people would like the radio mattered more. Back in New York, that was a constant fucking conversation of just like, oh, like you guys aren't supporting us. There's all these dope underground artists coming out, yada yada yada. But
People just always want inclusion.
all right, this is my main thing when I see that mentality that DeJon and a few other people have about hip hop in LA that kind of surprises me is when you have people who seem like really committed to LA hip hop being great. And I'm not from here, and I listen to music from all over the country, and I don't give a fuck about like if LA hip hop is like is thriving or whatever. To me, it's like it's a bunch of individual artists. I'm happy to help them out by doing interviews and like, documenting cool shit that's going on and everything. But if in the year 2023 there was no great new rappers to come out of LA, I'm not even going to notice because I'm thinking about other rappers I like listening to from other places. And I'm not even really like right now I'm saying there's barely any fucking rappers that I'm excited to listen to, period. And that doesn't really bother me either. Like, I'm not really invested in like, oh, like we have to protect LA hip hop. We have to make sure LA hip hop thrives. No, you don't have like an overall hip hop scene. You just have a bunch of individual actors who are doing the best that they can at any given
But
time.
But this shit is regional. This shit is regional. This shit is not. It's not global. And you can't take. You can barely take any of these artists and put them in any of these states, and the music will live
Because of their
People don't-
sound.
Because of the sound. Nobody gives a fuck. You
Yeah,
feel me?
but-
So you gonna have them booming over here in California. Where you gonna go?
But
You gonna do all the clubs over here. You gonna get burnt
Yeah.
out. Then where we gonna go next?
You're going to be on No Jumper because you can't get nowhere.
But me and a million other people from all over the country have been listening to Flint music in Detroit, Michigan for the past couple of years, right?
Right.
I'm out here listening to drill music and shit half the time. And I'm not like, it's not from where I'm from or whatever. It's like, I like that music.
But let me
West
make
Coast
this
hip hop
point.
sounds dated as fuck most
But
of
let
the
me
time.
make this point. It's not because you're listening to that music because they play the radio and they're playing that artist on the radio in their city. You're listening to the music because you love it. And you
Because
found it,
But
streaming
I have
the
a
music.
way different mentality
Yeah.
about music than the average person. The average person, it's like I listen to the music that comes on in the car.
Well,
not,
the
not
average
even the
person
average
is
person.
Spotify.
But the average person,
Now-
quote unquote, is becoming a much smaller group now because they are using Spotify and Apple Music,
But
and they're not like, oh, I'm going to
once
turn
you-
on the radio.
Once you start thinking that way, then that's where you lose because it's programming at the end of the day. If all you're doing is getting fed what you're seeing on a playlist, that's dictating everything. So what does that tell for an artist to come out of here where it's like, well, you don't matter if you don't reach to this certain type
If you're
of
not
height.
on Rap Caviar,
if
which
you-
is essentially
which you
the new
can't-
radio.
Which you can't really get on unless you're with one of these labels that own a percentage of that. So, like, you need people that's going to fight the fight. Like, I want y'all to be great. I want y'all to try to reach other heights. And, yeah, niggas, it do need to be somebody to say, listen, we banging on this shit to try to get some inclusion because if not, nigga, we just going to take whatever they want for us in hip-hop and then we're lost now.
No, facts.
But they really cornering this shit off because the labels own this shit and the labels putting the money up media for this shit as far as marketing. These niggas ain't picking these people as they favorite, you know what I'm saying, favorite artists. Do you got the money to be top 10? Yes or no? Yes. You feel
No,
me?
do you have the music that will actually get listened to in that environment?
You
Because
need the money. You
music
need the
to
money,
stay.
though.
music will
the
get
money
you there.
to get you there.
But I'm saying that the radio,
Music
like
to
the
stay.
reason why the radio is not going to play some experimental shit or some song that they don't know if it's going to hit or not is because the radio has one job. Their entire business model is based on one thing, which is keep you listening for that 10, 15-minute chunk. So once we get to playing ads for 5 minutes, that you're still here. The way that they're going to keep you there is they're going to play the songs that keep you there. And unfortunately, trying out the new True Car song on the radio is not going to fucking make people stick around. People don't like listening to new music. And I know that might sound kind of weird to some No Jumper fans, but when you're in the club and you hear a song for the first time, it feels kind of weird and unfamiliar, right? Like I've DJ'd and played unfamiliar music to the audience.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work. They
But I
don't
like-
care. They
but
want
I
to hear
like-
familiar shit.
I was in a club last night and I heard a song that I didn't know who it was, and I'm one of the people that always bring their Shazam out and be like, "Hey, I like this though," and I appreciate DJs breaking new shit.
The club is the kind of place where that shit happens more because you can try shit out a little bit more. With the radio, I mean, listen, like if they wanted to play random new music and give new artists a chance, they would have been doing it for like the past fucking 30 years. They don't do it.
I'm inclined to it. Like, do it. I'll just go ahead.
But they
is
won't,
that-
'cause that's
but
not
is
their
that-
business model.
But is that paying the bills? Because that's the
Exactly, yeah.
business model too. Like, who paying me to do this shit? Because at the end of the day, if we gonna keep on doing this shit, how the fuck is this fucking station gonna stay here?
They got analytics that show
Yeah.
people when they click off on the radio.
Hey, instead of doing this
Right.
show, we could do another show where we just listen to new artists.
Which is called the music stream
Yeah.
that people fall asleep.
Guess what? Yeah, but even
I
beyond
quit
that,
that shit.
But we could curate it, and we could only play artists who have 1 million plays or have 500,000 plays or whatever. Like artists who seem like they're really doing something. We could do a show and play that, and we're gonna get like 30,000 views maybe
You know
on
what?
it. Like it's not gonna be good.
But if we did something like that and we actually chose the music that we liked and it wasn't based on politics,
It still would do dog shit compared to
I
us
mean,
sitting here talking about whatever.
Right.
Technically,
but-
we do well. We haven't done it lately, but when we were watching these music videos, and it was always a wild card where it's like, all right, that's what I think made people want to watch the video. But if it was just us listening to the shit, they wouldn't give a
But
fuck.
So
there
would
will be like 10,000 people watching this live, and there will be like 1,000 people watching.
So would
that
you
live.
pick it at radio stations or would you complain about playlists? Which one would you do?
well,
Honestly,
at
playlist
this
is
point,
way more
playlists are.
effective.
But here you got
Playlist is way more
But you
effective.
gotta-
Both are gonna have no effect.
But you
and
gotta-
this is individually curated.
Yeah.
This is a person.
But they're really not though. That's the thing. You got to cut the head off the snake. It's all curated by the labels.
Yeah.
The
True,
radio.
but it's somebody at the label.
Of course.
That's
of course.
And if you're Rap Caviar, you want to keep an image, and part of your image is that you want to have cool pop and rap songs on there. So yes, the labels are able to manipulate it and stuff. I'm sure. I don't know exactly how it works, but ultimately they want to be the people who are creating a trusting relationship.
But that's
if,
the thing,
If I
like-
go to Rap Caviar and I listen to it, and it's 3 random ass LA rappers that sound like shit, I might never click on it again, and
But
they
look,
know that.
Look,
But look-
local scenes though, local scenes and the prominence and power of local scenes is what does move the needle creatively and what does actually make people excited about the genre. It's not Rap Caviar, motherfucking bottle service lame playlists. You feel me?
But they have
That's
become
why it's
like the
important.
radio.
Right, you're right, but that's why it's important when you're like,
And
oh,
they
I-
have something like Cali Heat on Spotify,
But-
which I respect. You got the new LA on Apple Music
Yeah,
and stuff like
There-
that.
there-
Like
there's-
when you get to one of those as an LA artist, you're like, all right, I'm getting somewhere.
yeah, but that's curated by individuals. That's not like an industry playlist.
So what
know?
what advice would you give a person like DeJon? You feel me? Like what advice would you give him? Like where should he focus his energy more towards?
I think he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because he's trying to create controversy to like, basically make his individual personal brand bigger, and it's working because we're fucking talking about it, even though he's complaining about something that we all agree is completely fucking irrelevant, which is the radio.
I mean, yeah, it's working because he made me bring him on again. I probably, well, I guarantee you, I wouldn't give a
You
fuck.
didn't want to do it.
No, I guarantee you, I
didn't.
wouldn't give a fuck about what's going on because I just already know how I feel about LA hip hop and how LA radio. I just already know how I feel about just even LA OGs. Like I'm just so like. I be like on they fucking head anyway, so I'm just like not even in tune with that shit.
Yeah, but you an LA OG now, so you
I ain't
got
no
it right.
fucking LA
Yes,
OG.
you are,
Fuck
nigga.
nigga.
You an LA OG now. now.
I ain't
There's
no rap LAOG.
No, not a rap LAOG, but you an LAOG now.
You feel me?
There's young people that are watching your streams right now, looking up to you like, I want to be like TRell. So you can either lead them.
Do you
this
consider
way
him an
or
unk?
He's definitely an unk.
Oh my God.
It's a fact.
You've been giving your unk card. I think we're all unks.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
the youngest unk here.
If you looking up to
Youngest
me,
unk is a good rap name.
Youngest son.
I'm the biggest,
Yeah.
bro. I'm the youngest.
no, but if you looking up to me or you looking at anything that we doing right here, I would say use your own platform to push these artists and you know what I'm saying and try to get it out.
I gotta
your
pee.
way.
I'll be right back.
I wouldn't be fucking sitting around begging no fucking big ass conglomerate to put our people music on their platform, something that they created, because they ain't obligated to do shit. You feel me? And we already know, this shit is crazy out
look,
here.
I'll give it to you another way. And this is kind of how me, RJ, and Neff Pharaoh got on the radio.
Neff crazy too.
We got on the radio because when 92.3 came, iHeart, they basically was like, look, they're not playing LA artists. We want to come in and we want to take over LA radio.
But
they went and signed
like
Big Boy.
But like he said, this is a different time, and you don't even have to use that shit. Look at Blue Bloods Can. Look at fucking Baby Stone Gorilla. They don't need that shit, nigga. You know what I mean?
Nobody needs it, but it does.
It does help.
It does help. And you know what I'm saying? And back to what I was saying is, nigga, once that shit happened, it was like, look, let's go get this guy's song, and let's give them full rotation. And that shit was game changing for all of us, bro. Nigga probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them coming and taking that situation and turning it into something. And it needs to be more. I want to see more artists, bro, get a chance taking on them in LA radio, sitting there saying, hey, and even if it's just one, let's get behind one LA artist, you feel me, that we can all agree on, and let's push him to the max so he
That's
can
what
change
happened
the
with
situation.
Kendrick. That's
bro,
literally what happened with
basically-
Kendrick.
We can't stop that, bro. We have to sit there
And here's the
feel
thing.
a way about that.
I know he's saying he don't care about LA hip hop. All of us do, I'm pretty sure. You feel me?
course.
Like we from here, you know what I mean? Like I care about it tremendously because I care about not only what's going on now, but the future. And if there's not a strong local scene that has different outlets, not just for radio and things like that, but for live shows, all different ways, different brands that artists can collaborate with. If there's not like a healthy economy for the entire scene, then eventually that shit dies
That's
out.
why I'm rooting for Zoe Osama. When I go to the club now, the whole weekend I'm out, nigga. I'm at every spot, nigga. We turned the fuck up, and I hear ASM Bop Star. Like, I like that because I'm like, okay, people are here for Rolling Loud weekend. They gonna leave, sitting there like, hey, there's some new shit in LA that I fuck with, and then shit like that will change somebody's life, bro. And it'll be more people sitting there having the baton passed to them and shit like that. We need more of that shit, bro. We can't sit there and say, we don't give a fuck because we in positions now to where we don't have to give a fuck. But if you put your all into something, you going to feel like, nigga, you put blood, sweat, and tears in this, you going to want some inclusion and shit or something that's going to keep you going. We need to do that.
Man, I've been in those radio stations so much, and we was giving those fights so much, like in paying these independent radio people so much. It ain't just like, oh, go on to Power 06 and pick it. Like, bitch, we was really paying these people 50, 60,000, nigga, for these spins. And then if it catch, once it catch, you go on your mediabase.com and see how much they playing it. Then once we see it, you feel me, you get your spins, and then you pay another 60. You really playing this game like it's really hard. Like we was in these radio stations.
Which you're technically not supposed to do.
Which you not supposed to, but we in there feeding these bitch ass niggas.
That's the
we
thing, though.
bringing
You go in there and you
food.
get everybody food.
We doing all of that shit. Like
Does
that's
that happen
out.
anymore?
I'm pretty sure people still do that.
Yeah,
I hope
but-
nobody brings Duno any food.
And I
I mean,
you know what I'm
mixer-
saying? That's out. But
He should
no,
be on
that's
meal prep.
out, dog.
Well, that's
out. Fuck you niggas. We can hop on these fucking playlists. We can do these other outlets. We can come on these podcasts. We can do that shit to get your music out. If I gotta fucking sit in there and do all of that, fuck that shit.
Hey, but I ain't gonna lie. St. John, I literally had a mixer meeting the same day as him.
Yeah.
And mind you, I know all the DJs. I'm in there laughing. Hey, yo, that nigga came in there and blew all the DJs away. And at that moment, I said, this nigga gonna be big when it come down to the music scene. Them niggas bought food for everybody. He looked at every DJ and said, I can't make it without you guys.
Yeah.
He looked at like they sold, bro. I'm like,
So if you
Okay.
want to be a poppin' artist, that's what you have to anticipate. Is you got to
Those
suck
mixer
off a bunch
meetings-
of
you gotta
fucking
mixer
random
meetings are
ass
very
Mixer
labels.
meetings.
important.
You better come in the mixer meeting. You better bring,
Bro, he came in
you better
like
bring
Martin
in and
Luther
out
King,
for
bro.
everybody.
I was like, this
Don't
nigga,
think you're just gonna make good music.
Nigga,
No,
what?
it's a
You're
lot
gonna
of
have to
shit you gotta
suck
do.
off rooms full of people
Did
like
he
a
feel
lion.
like he
Oh.
just deflated everything that you had been doing?
Nigga, I said, why am I even here? This nigga St. John came in here and just swept it. Fuck my shit, bro. That nigga looked at everybody, and the way he did it was so professional, and he was so
Yeah.
sure of himself.
And those
I
radio
said, that
people
nigga-
taught us that. They said, you come in here, you do this. It's called a mixer meeting.
And he came
blah,
in with
blah.
a nigga from Rockefeller, too. I
Like,
was
bruh, like, it was hard, nigga. And I taught some of the homies, like, bro, you gotta have a mixer meeting. Talk
That's
to
the
them.
thing.
and
Bring
then
him some
bring
food.
And they like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and get in there and they start playing your radio. I mean, your song. But man, that shit is dinosaur
And even
shit.
if they
I
don't
ain't
play
been
it on
fighting
the,
for that
even
shit.
if they don't play it on the radio, a lot of the DJs, they have residencies places and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
will be inclined to sit there and play your shit, especially if they see you in the club. Oh, hey, what's it called in the building? Here, let me cue
All
this
you're
up.
making me think as you say this is like, kids, don't be a rapper. It's just
It's
not,
very-
it's not worth it. It's
look,
too much
If
bullshit.
you love
bro.
music, man, do what you gotta do.
What we had just said, what I think AD said a few minutes ago, is when LA all got behind Kendrick, that's what it took.
That's right.
And like the OGs, the youth, everybody was on the same page.
They had the concert. Snoop gave them the baton. All the respected West Coast people came on stage and said, "You have the torch."
Now, if we
And he just didn't go out there and do it by himself.
No.
You know what type of team he got?
Right.
What type of homies he got
Right.
behind him?
Right.
Like
Right.
what
Did.
type of represented?
and
like
it took
He
representation?
left
years.
them, right?
It took years.
He dipped out on them, right?
I mean,
No, he got a new
didn't-
team now.
I mean, but that's over the years. You
After
feel me? And
several Grammys
you
and
can
shit, right?
definitely grow and do that shit on your own.
But did
because,
Kendrick
like you
take
said,
5 years off because he was trying to get out of that deal?
He took 5 years off because you know what I'm saying. He got to make the certain music that he
think-
can make, and he can take
yeah,
5 years off
motherfucker make a
because
song in
he's
a
a
day.
Grammy award
song
winning
in a
artist.
couple hours.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think- 5 years?
mentally, and the level that he's got, he can't just put out an album. Like, it has to make a statement every time he drops.
It has to
down.
be a masterpiece. It has to be
has to be.
surrounded by something. It has
Something
to
was
be-
going on behind the
It has to
scenes.
be a thing.
For sure,
man.
there was more
Yeah.
to it than that. But also, like, let's look at like a Greedo right now. Just as Greedo, would the whole entire West Coast get behind someone like that, especially considering the politics that he has and like,
He's pretty chill politically.
right? But I'm saying, like, is there?
The radio's not gearing up to play his songs. Is what he's
But if he
saying.
has a
Right.
hit, they'll hop
feel
on
me?
it. They'll hop on it as soon as it's obvious.
I-
it's gonna be a
We'll
hit,
see.
Yeah.
I would like to see that happen with him because I don't think there's anybody else at this moment really.
Greedo sent me some.
I'm rooting for him
Besides,
to go
besides
all the
Compton
way.
AD,
Yeah.
you feel
Greedo
me?
sent me a song that is like him with autotune for the chorus, and he's rapping without autotune on the verse. And it sounds like a different rapper.
Bro, that plug song that he has, like that new joint, like that's one of. Sounds
I'm rooting for bro.
amazing.
He hasn't
To
released
take this
anything, right?
shit
It's,
over.
it's all
No.
leaks.
Yeah. Amazing.
I think bro can take this shit over.
Me too.
And really make some waves with it. This
I
is his time.
felt real feelings when I was listening to his shit that he sent me the other day. I was like, oh, okay.
So let's all get behind the whole West Coast. Fools like DeJon, you feel me?
Now,
Hop
fuck
on
the West Coast. Let's go
hop on
like
your
03 Greedo. I don't give a fuck about anybody else.
That's what I'm saying. The West Coast,
He's
get behind
talented.
it.
California. I'm with that.
Don't try to hijack his movement and add all these other bums. Let him be great.
No, that's what I said is the whole, the
called
whole
it up.
West Coast, get behind
they
him.
gonna-
Listen,
be always-
everybody in LA already gonna be trying to do. If he is huge, if Greedo is one of the biggest rappers a year from now, already we know everybody on earth is gonna be begging him for fucking attention, features, whatever. You know.
Tell fucking DeJon hop on his treadmill, give him an A+ on the motherfucking rankings, and boom.
You really,
But this
you really
whole
come
thing
up with
was
the fat jokes,
after
huh?
the
All right,
races.
we can change the
Damn.
subject, but this whole thing was about Doknow, and you feel me, and his comments toward
We
hip
kind of
hop.
shied away from that.
Yeah, his comments toward hip hop, and I know he really didn't.
I was
feel like,
thinking that.
he didn't feel like.
There's
he
going to be
wasn't
plenty
feel
of
like
people
that.
who are like, "Why the fuck are you guys talking about the radio for an hour?" But my
Get
thing
the
with
fuck outta
Doknow
here.
is
but
like,
we talking about hip hop though.
but you can't really blame Doknow for not listening to rap when rap is kind of trash these days. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Doknow at the end, just like Letty said, and Doknow is y'all got to give him props, man. He's only 22, man. He's learning.
When
Nah.
is he going to be
It's just-
22 forever?
No,
He's
but the
about
whole
to-
thing
well, he's about
is-
to be 23
He,
by
he
the time
said,
When?
it is.
No, he said what he said. You just can't say fuck hip hop.
No, but yeah, when you working
Even
for
if
a
you joking.
radio station,
Even if you joking.
it's very,
I love him
it's
to
very
death, but he
important
know.
taste.
He
But
know.
he didn't mean that shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? He's 22.
And we shouldn't be saying that because he's a comedian.
Oh, that is a good out.
Boom.
He's a
But
comedian.
It don't really.
I don't want to hear
is
that
he
shit.
a
Shut your ass
comedian?
up. Yes, he's a
Yes,
He
he's a
makes
comedian.
funny TikTok videos. He
He's a
doesn't get on
comedian.
on stage and do
He
stand
got
up.
on stage
before.
before.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it with any kind of regularity.
He's not an accomplished stand-up comedian, but he's still a comedian.
He's a great funny guy, and he made a mistake. He spoke out of turn, and he loves
I'm
hip-hop.
pretty sure just because you're funny doesn't mean that you're a comedian.
I'm pretty sure like the people appreciate us talking about hip hop.
Okay, but let's talk
Yeah.
about some gangster shit. How you feel about this Ja guy? Apparently, is a new Ja on the scene.
Ja
Rule.
Morant?
Ja Rule is gone. Ja Morant is on the scene, and he got the blicky in the club. I never even knew who this motherfucker was, but didn't the story come out a couple of days before the blicky in the club, where he allegedly pointed a gun at a kid and said some shit to him?
Ja
Right?
Morant is fucking super talented basketball player. He's actually very, very great.
But he was accused of pointing a gun at some kid like a few days before this gun in the club thing, right?
He was accused of punching him.
Punching a 17-year-old. Yeah.
And having a gun, right?
That was the
No, just
incident.
punching him.
Wasn't
Just
it
punching him?
at the
He
incident at his crib,
posted
right?
a gun on Instagram.
That's separate.
What?
That's separate. We're talking about what happened before that.
Well, there was like an incident at his crib. Like he had a home court crib or
I
whatever.
thought you
and-
guys would know about this.
Yeah, he had a home court
That's what
crib.
it was. He had
Yeah.
a home court crib.
They say he punched a 17-year-old.
Yeah, dude wound up like dude was apparently acting hella rowdy. He wasn't just a random 17-year-old. Like,
Oh yeah. 5 days ago he was accused of last year threatening a mall. Oh no, so last year he was accused of threatening a mall security guard, and then days later punching a teen during a pickup game at his own house.
That's what we just said.
That's what I literally just
Okay,
said.
but I'm clarifying since you guys were saying it in like 5 million different directions.
No,
at
we
once.
did not. I just told you.
I was begging for you to tell me the story
I just
initially.
told you this story.
I just told
said
you.
he's
You were trying to
accused of
deny it.
punching a 17-year-old.
But you kept
and he
trying to bring up
posted
the
a
club
blicky.
thing.
No, I said they allegedly punched
Okay,
a
I'm
17-year-old.
trying to lay it
and he
out in
posted
order.
the blicky on his Instagram. You said no. He said the other way. Let me
Okay,
get to
okay,
the,
No,
okay.
okay. The gun in the club though was at the end. That's the most recent
That's like
incident. This is
Jesse
what I
Now.
was trying to make
Yes.
clear.
Recent,
It's
yes.
very hard for us
Yes.
to get to these things.
So-
straw
But,
hat man.
Okay. Gay hat man. But so I actually had a controversial tweet that some people really did not appreciate. Let's just read this. So I quote tweeted him with the gun in the club, and I said, "The allure of gangsterism is so strong that even guys who get paid millions of dollars to play a sport immediately morph into NBA YoungBoy after a few drinks." Basically just saying that this is a guy who has every single reason under the sun to not be behaving like this. But, you know, the culture that we've grown up with just makes having a gun and being a tough guy so fucking cool, is that this guy gets a few drinks in him and just kind of has to do this. And like, I mean, clearly he's got his own fucking issues going on, because anybody who's set up for life to make this much money from the NBA who continues to do this has something deeply wrong with them.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that from a white man.
What people, you know what I'm saying? People like, hold on, you should sympathize with him a little bit after you making that tweet, because they're saying like you morph into a gangster too, like without
Nobody
drugs,
said that.
without weed.
No, but
you,
nobody-
like you morph into
I
a
read
Crip.
every
You morph-
single comment
you morph
talking
in-
shit about that post, and nobody said that. Nobody said you think you're a gangster.
No,
so
you-
that's
they
your
said-
take
no,
and your
they-
take alone.
You morph into a certain person, you know what I'm saying, being around these people because you've been from
No,
Lantana Block.
nobody's saying
you was
that.
from Lantana Block
No,
last
okay,
year.
but now you're bringing up a blatant
Blame the
joke
hood.
that I made for like
Yeah.
5 seconds on the podcast. So
I mean, but if you around certain people making a certain amount of money, doesn't mean you can't hang and, you know what I'm saying, doing shit jokingly and fucking around. That don't mean you still can't be
where's the
professional.
joke? He was toting a gun on
Man,
Instagram
listen,
Live in the
he
club.
gotta-
Where's the joke? He knows that he's going to get kicked out of the NBA or in a
Okay.
lot of trouble with the NBA.
He has to realize that he's in a life-changing situation that could be taken away from him no matter how talented
So-
he is. You need more people around you to have your best interest and to make sure that that shit like that don't happen.
And so
again.
you saying that the people think that I'm trying to be a gangster is a bizarre misreading of the
mean-
sentiment to this. Let me read to you a thing that a person actually said. This guy said, "You do glorify this behavior and promote it on your platform. How many people do you have that not only work for you, but that you've interviewed that act like this on a daily basis?" And so my response was, there's some impressive logic going on in the comments. Because we comment on rap and street shit, we must therefore be in favor of every person, including professional athletes, brandishing guns in public establishments. I mean, my thing about it is that this person was basically saying that I'm not allowed to basically call this dude a dumbass for fucking up his NBA career by having a gun on Instagram Live. Like, I was thinking about this in a different way. If he had been driving up out of there and the cops had pulled him over and they had found a gun on him, I mean, you could look at it and you could say, wow, that was a pretty dumb move. You should have had security or you shouldn't have had a gun on you. But you would have got caught in a reasonable way. Whereas if you're in the club on Instagram Live with the gun, I mean, guess who doesn't do that? You don't see Dirk having guns on Instagram Live. You don't see Youngboy having guns on Instagram Live. Maybe they have in the past, but these are like the most gangster rappers on earth, and they're not doing this kind of shit.
But this is a nigga with a Nike
And the
contract.
idea that we like that. We want people to do this. And because he's throwing all y'all in it too, for the record.
I don't want him to do that.
Everybody, we want this. We want athletes to be having guns in clubs just because we sometimes talk about street shit on here. That's the stupidest fucking thing possible. And I'm not gonna lie, I read like 100 people saying that. And I was really shocked. Like, of all the times that we've talked about how to move and how to be involved in street situations or how to be out in public and stuff, people think that everybody should be a shooter.
They should carry. Nothing is wrong with carrying a gun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with bearing arms.
Well, in a lot of states, there would be.
In a lot of states.
In a lot of places in general.
I mean, if it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's nothing wrong with bearing arms if it's legal. Especially if you're worth $200 million. You know what I'm saying? You can have a gun. You can ride with a gun. You can do everything with a gun. The problem is showcasing it on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
That's out.
Also, if
you know what I'm saying?
if you're that high profile and you're that wealthy, you could have people, you could be flanked by people that can't even, so regular people can't even get to you.
What people were saying though is
all
that
strapped up.
Maybe where he was at, it is legal for you to have a gun, and it is legal like easily, and easily you could have it in the club as well. So that would be a good argument, since like I think for our perspective in LA, like you just can't have a gun inside the nightclub, right? But even then, like the NBA obviously has their own policies where they're going to feel a way about you doing that.
Well, like Drake said, sponsorship dollars is sky high. When you got all these sponsors on the line right now, like nigga, imagine Nike was like, we don't even want to be included with you no more.
Well, they're thinking about it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, nigga, none of this shit is worth it if what you're trying to show these, like, you have nothing to prove to nobody. To the hood, nothing. You've made it in life already, nigga. Do your fucking shit, man. Don't sit there, nigga. You ain't gotta act tough or show niggas that you with it. If you with it, you with it, nigga, when it's time of action.
That's some Aaron Hernandez type shit, really.
Exactly,
you
yeah.
feel me?
That's what it reminded me of too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, you're going to put them all the way there? I would.
We don't know how many bodies he got, but
I wouldn't call him Aaron Hernandez.
That's where it could lead potentially.
I mean, to bear arms, so now
No.
So now he's an American that can bear arms.
No, there's nothing.
And he's just and he's like,
Aaron Hernandez killed someone.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole thing. There's a big difference between carrying a gun and killing someone with the gun.
But you can carry the fucking gun.
But the correlation is you've already made it. You ain't got to act like that. You don't need to impress people with street antics.
So my thing is, you guys feel like he's acting like someone he's not.
No. I don't know the nigga to say that.
That's what I'm saying. So how are we judging him if we don't actually know him? But they actually know where he's came from and what he's done.
But that's the thing. It's not about what he's came from. It's about where he's at right now.
I mean, yeah, where he's at right now. He's worth X amount of dollars. He's signed to X amount of people, and he feel like he needs to carry a gun wherever he's at. He probably feels like he needs to protect himself.
And again, carrying a gun and brandishing it like that.
Carrying it's one thing. Having it on Instagram Live in the club is a totally different thing.
So that's what we all disagree with. Don't have it on Instagram.
Also, if you're in the NBA and you're worth tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, like, guess what? Do exactly what every rapper who's worth infinitely less than you does, and just have your little homie with it right next to you, or get a security guard.
Saying.
When King Von got killed, he had a bunch of shooters and a bunch of real security guards with him, like a whole fleet. Because I fucking looked into the case. Okay, I'm telling on a dead man, right?
Yeah,
but
we can't do that.
But I'm saying, King Von doing that was a reasonable amount of security for him to have like 3-4 armed security guards and a bunch of homies with guns. That's reasonable in his situation, you know. Like, so just being a dude having your own gun in the club is.
But that's probably not the best example to use, though.
Well, unfortunately, when I get that much,
his actions were outside of, you know, he had all those people with him that should have prevented him from going and punching someone in the face, but he didn't choose that.
When I get that much money, check this out. I don't want none of you niggas around me.
Nigga, you don't go outside now.
Yeah, I don't want to do nothing.
I can't imagine you with $100 million.
I don't want 10 niggas with guns behind me. I don't want to feel that feeling no more. I don't I'm nervous. I'm doing this. I'm looking around. Like, Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, but
Like,
what about when your family want to go to Disneyland?
we could go to Disney. It's the happiest place in the world.
Do you know what he did? Do
They
you know
got
what
metal
he,
detectors.
do you
there.
know what he did at Disneyland the last time he went here? This is why.
They got metal detectors.
Who phone you threw again?
Wait, you threw someone's phone?
That was not the last time.
At the happiest place on earth.
Dog, that's
I do hear about some gangster shit going on there sometimes. The OC, that's like where all the weirdos go, right?
I mean,
Whoa,
it might be a
That's
it might be a
crazy
fight or
statement.
two here and there. I've never seen it. It's the happiest place in the world.
No,
I seen some fights on
Am I tripping? I seen hella fights on Disneyland,
Yeah.
and I seen I seen like a news article one time about all the punk rock people and shit that go hang out there. Like it's not even just gangster shit; it's just weird people in general. Are like, oh, we're in the OC.
Oh, like
There's nothing
Trevor.
to do. We're going to Disneyland.
Like
OC
Trevor.
is actually very nice and it's very
oh yeah,
low
it's
crime
very
rate.
nice. That's the problem. Is if you want to go be on some weirdo shit, like where the fuck are you gonna do it, right?
And be like TRell and throw people phones.
Who?
What happened?
Remember when OGZ got kicked out?
Yeah,
Where?
Of
At
Disneyland?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
was banging on one of the employees.
I think before he even got in, wasn't it like at the entrance?
I don't know. I
They don't
forget.
play that shit.
Yeah.
You talk to an employee, it's like guards in the county jail. They on your ass.
And I'm gonna be mad too if I pay that high ass ticket
They kicking
with
you
my
right
kids.
out.
You over here tripping? Nah, you ain't fucking up Toontown for my kids.
Yo, I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
gonna join in on that shit.
I went to the Beverly Center over the weekend because we're staying right across the street, and I like totally forgot that I'm fucking whoever the fuck I am right now. And as soon as I walk in there and I start seeing face tattoo guys and shit, and they're just like, "What up, Adam? How you doing?" And I'm forgetting that it's fucking Rolling Loud weekend, so there's like infinite people getting a fit before they go to Rolling Loud. I saw so many goddamn rappers / aspiring rappers / dudes that I don't know who the fuck they were. It was a weird scene.
It was
Were you taking
uncomfortable.
hella pics with people or what?
It was uncomfortable.
It's like many pics.
Nigga.
Say, I'm on Boosie. I'm like Boosie. Boosie said, I'd rather do this podcast than go to this club with you. This shit is too dangerous.
But
Yeah.
you could do both.
It's getting out of hand.
If I'm Boosie, you do the interview and then go to the
I
club.
was
look,
in
look what's happening to Glorilla.
Man.
And she a girl.
She got a little mini Astro
Motherfuckers
World
is
on her
throwing
hands.
water at her. Security guards is out here getting caught with guns in the car. This shit is getting crazy. Somebody died at her concert
I
the other
heard
day.
they got
Yeah, you
they
said
had
it.
trampled.
It's like a 1/10 of an Astro World.
They ain't putting that pressure on her like Travis Scott either.
It was a grown ass dude who got trampled too, I believe.
See, and that's an accident. Why they doing Travis Scott like that?
Yeah, but Travis Scott, fucking, you see him punching that dude in the club the other day?
Oh
I
my
sure
God.
didn't.
This motherfucker ain't changed at all.
I'll punch you if you talking shit.
It seems
He
like
just punched a DJ. The guy's like spinning
Oh,
records.
the nigga Mark is over there acting like.
Well,
my
you know
head
him?
still- No, we fucking talked about it.
Oh.
We was laughing at him because he was in the hospital for getting supposedly punched in the head.
Get
And
the fuck outta here.
He's sitting there like, yes, my head still hurts.
Oh, hell yeah. If Travis Scott
Yeah.
punches me, I'm
Oh,
rocking
I'ma
a
do the
neck
same
brace for
thing,
2
too.
months.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm never taking it
That
off.
nigga Mark is smart. He went like this. He's like, yes, my head still hurts.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
I mean, if you're like, this reminds me of when Tory Lanez punched whoever the fuck it was at that thing right before he had to go on trial for the Meg thing. It's like if you're Travis Scott
entanglement with
and
August.
you're facing this gigantic fucking lawsuit related to the Astroworld shit, you still can't stop yourself from just beating motherfuckers up. I don't know.
DJs get it the worst though.
Yeah, he's just
They be
abusing
acting
them.
shitty, especially in the club. Shitty bitch. You don't want to play my record. You can't hear me. They doing this. Can't hear you. Ignoring you. All the shit. Especially if you a rapper and they ain't played your song. If you a rapper and you at a club and they
Hey,
didn't play your song on time,
That's
super
when you
disrespectful.
text him. You gonna spin this next bitch?
Yeah, but
I'm gonna
I'll
see
be
you
up
outside.
there.
They don't play your song, so you start a stampede.
from a DJ
Yep.
perspective, there's nothing more annoying than people trying to get their song played. Like it sucks.
It is weird though. But
That's weird.
But when you got your people in there, okay, when you hosting and they don't play your shit, that's like total
Yeah,
disrespect.
that's different.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
If you're hosting, you got to have a little conversation beforehand, right? You gonna play this song? You gonna play this song?
It's-
But there's some
It's just-
DJs that'll be like,
I ain't playing that
Not
shit.
playing-
You's a bitch. I don't even know you. Like,
Like,
get this
it-
nigga out the club.
Yeah, I've DJ'd for years, and when I used to like,
What's your DJ name?
Just me. You feel me? Like
Just me.
Like
That's me.
DJ Lush.
just Lush. But when
white back.
But when motherfuckers will, if I saw you in the club, I'm playing like Crip Lives Matter. If I saw you walking,
Please do
Dick
not play.
riding.
Please do not play Crip Lives
Whatever.
Matter when you're in the club with me.
I'm gonna play whatever.
I'm gonna
song,
look awkward as hell. Like,
I'm gonna play whatever song of your.
thank you, bro. But
I'm
goddamn,
I'm gonna play whatever song I enjoy of an artist that comes in the room.
That's why you're not
It's like-
DJing anymore.
But-
You're playing too many people in the room.
But if you're just an unknown rapper and you're not even anybody and you're coming up begging me to play your song and trying to like intimidate, like, or whatever.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
definitely not fucking
The
with
new
it.
thing
Like,
now is, especially like yesterday, I'm in the club. You can't even hear motherfuckers like, bro, you gotta bring me on a podcast and tell
Oh
my
my
story.
God.
I'm like, the amount of times I hear this now, I'm like, nigga, who the fuck is you?
Nigga,
I've known you for years,
I
and I
got
know
a story to tell, bro.
you sell granola bars. What are we gonna talk about?
That
What?
shit is the most annoying shit ever. You feel me?
that's not your entire inbox,
And you know who
too?
hold politics like super crazy, nigga? Las Vegas. You're not getting.
Oh,
in
you're
that
not getting none of
club
that
shit.
As an artist, they're not bringing you to their club. They don't want anything to do with the politics. They don't want anything to do with any.
Nigga, if you don't
ghetto
have your
shit,
ID,
no
they don't give a
fighting,
fuck who you are. They're gonna say you're not
nothing.
getting in this motherfucker.
They have paid
They don't want
residencies too and shit. So it's like a whole.
And
other
to
thing.
pay residencies, like the people that they do bring to their club, like you got to pay attention. Like they're not bringing no crazy motherfuckers, bro. Like,
OT
you
got a
better act-
residency. He had it
He's
for
cool,
years.
though.
He's a great
But
person.
he loves partying. He's a good vibe.
Gang
like
member.
you gotta
No,
you-
great guy.
You gotta go. Yeah, you got. He's a great
Drunk.
vibe when he go
Nope,
in there.
great guy.
Great vibe. You feel me? They don't bring all artists.
Very
in there.
marketable.
They do not.
Very shiny head.
That's true.
You got to put lotion on.
I heard he uses like lube, like you would use on
Pause.
your car tires.
Whoa.
Is that a thing?
He might knock you out for that one.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Don't
You're
be
ready
in
for
there.
everybody now.
AD is going to be like,
Don't
well,
be in
about,
there like
about an hour
Mark.
and a half into the podcast, you're going to want to check out this comment made about.
Don't be in there like Mark. What about that Ice
Who's Mark?
Spice shit?
I was going to bring
Mark
this
is a-
up too.
What about that Ice Spice shit though? You
Wait,
see
okay,
in
so everybody, like, I see, okay, Kim's got her kids doing some funny little TikToks with Ice Spice, and I'm thinking, oh, that's nice. What a good mom. That's great.
People tripping on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my girl tells me, hey, so actually everybody's hating on her and saying that Kim is a clout chaser because Kim has not done a good job of getting acclimated to the new TikTok world, which is
What?
news to me. She has like 100 million followers, but she's a clout chaser who had to go get Ice Spice. I'm like, no, she seems like a good mom who got fucking their daughter's favorite rapper to come through and hang out and make TikToks for 20 minutes. Like, it's not that big a deal, bro. And like, how the fuck are you gonna act like Kim has lost her grip on the internet, bro?
What it is,
What-
the Kim figures that shit is corny and that's little kid shit and it's okay. The bigger problem is with her kids singing Ice Spice lyrics.
I can see that being.
That's
What were
not,
the bars?
It's not. Yeah, I mean,
She said something about like my boobs, right? Like,
Yeah,
and I
some-
got a big
Some
butt,
shit,
a big
some
butt.
shit
and nice
Kanye,
boobs.
some shit
big-
Kanye wouldn't want her to do.
Yeah.
exactly what Kanye was saying. You be introducing his kids to explicit shit that they shouldn't be, doing. Then she put on the wig or whatever the case may be, and people wasn't feeling it. Me as a parent, I really don't give a fuck, man. Your kids want to do shit. They want to be creative. They want to imitate people they want to be like, and why not imitate, performers, people with artistic value.
All the people she could look up to, I would say Ice Spice has got to be near the top of the safe list, right? Like she
Yeah,
doesn't do
that's
anything
cool.
sexual, violent, whatever. It's like,
Thought
yeah,
I was feeling you.
she might
Little nigga munch.
yeah,
This is so good. He ate it for lunch.
But even that, she
the
had
fuck is you talking
she
about?
had to come up with a whole fucking different word just to make a song about eating pussy. Like it's not like okay. Rewind time. If I had a 7-year-old when I was hanging out with Lil Pump and shit, and I fucking had my kid make a TikTok with Lil Pump, and then people are gonna say, "Oh, well, Lil Pump has bars about Xanax, rah rah rah." How are you gonna let your kid make a TikTok? Well, who gives a fuck?
Well, it's
just a
better
TikTok,
than
bro.
Rondo number 9.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? Like, but the thing is, look, I totally understand the lyric thing, and I could see that rubbing people the wrong way, especially because these are influencer kids, so they set the tone and the precedent for the way the kids of society are supposed to behave on TikTok and the type of content they're going to be consuming. So I can understand that being objectionable. But as far as like Kim clout chasing, to me, that was a bigger look for Ice Spice than it was for them. Like,
Hell
you're
yeah.
with
Think about how big Kim is compared
Yeah.
to her. Come on.
You're with the Northwest.
But if-
Kim in no form or fashion is cloud chasing.
If you
Yes, the
spend
other
your
way
entire
around.
life wrapped up in the TikTok algorithm, then you might actually believe that Ice Spice is more famous than Kim Kardashian right now because you have been basically lied to by the algorithm. Kim is not like desperately thirstily like chasing after fucking like TikTok views all the time, Like, am I wrong or did she do something similar with JoJo Siwa at a certain point when her kid was younger?
Yeah, JoJo Siwa, she did have JoJo Siwa, and she went to her house. She did all of that with North. You feel me?
JoJo's
Whatever's North's into, she's gonna see him. She's gonna fuck with him, and I wish I could do that for my kids.
Well, guess what? TikTok may not be here because Joe Biden is about to shut that shit down.
Okay, let's wait on talk about that. But like the thing about it to me is that Kim could literally do this with any up and coming artist. Like she could do this with every fucking artist that their daughters actually listen to. They picked one and they did it. And yeah, maybe Ice Spice has some like slightly sexual lyrics, but in terms of rap songs, she's in the bottom 10% of offensive rap.
I'd
lyrics.
rather her do that than that golf shit.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Who's under fire for that too? Lil Baby. Because he went to the fucking Kids' Choice Awards.
Cali Breeze.
But what did he
And-
do?
Let him do his thing.
He was performing too, and they said his lyrics were explicit, and he shouldn't have been performing that song because he was talking about.
Don't they
X,
edit
Y,
the
and Z.
fuck out of it?
But that's on.
I mean, of course you're gonna have a clean version, but they're still talking about this
Well,
is what the dirty version says.
Nickelodeon booked them. They wanted some
Yeah,
fucking views.
that's
Yeah, for
that's
real.
on the program director for not getting that handled beforehand. Like,
I mean, they know who the fuck. I mean, this is Lil Baby. You want to do it, Lil Baby? Oh, let's go.
They're like this.
I'm not finna
Lil Baby,
fucking-
JoJo Siwa. Lil Baby,
But if you're a little baby and you walk up in the party there and you're just like, hey, what the fuck is up?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
I don't
You
even
think
know
they
who it
green-
was.
You think
but-
they green slimed him?
Make some fucking noise.
they green
They got
slime
Uzi.
for yeah.
Yo,
got Uzi.
I seen a dude who went to the Nick Kids Choice.
Oh!
Whoa!
Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards.
He almost said it.
He went to the Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards wearing a Balenciaga sweatshirt,
Nickelodeon Adam.
and I thought that was pretty funny, given the
Nobody
climate.
don't give a fuck about no Balenciaga. That shit's gonna go in one ear and out the other.
Do you think their sales dropped
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a little while.
they
They're going to
did.
go back.
for a little while? But you think like a year from now their sales have dropped?
They sales drop, but I don't think it just drops super dramatically. I mean, because
He was
they
still
would
buying that
say
shit.
they would say like our people, black people, whatever, our culture, stop buying it, but we don't make up the majority of the population.
Yeah,
That's
and
still fucking.
I'm gonna be real with you.
consuming that
The
shit.
vast majority of people who had something negative to say about the Balenciaga shit, to me, are like very terminally online, conservative social media users.
Last year, it was
not
Gucci.
the people who are buying $800 fucking sweatshirts there in the
Last
first
year,
place.
it was Gucci. You remember they was like, oh, black people shouldn't wear Gucci anymore.
Guess
You
what? We're
forgot
not
about
keeping-
that shit.
the black
Guess what? We're
turtleneck.
not-
Remember the turtleneck?
Yes.
That shit
Yeah,
was
guess
hard.
what? We're not keeping Gucci in business. We're not.
I mean,
Like
You're partially keeping them in
for
business,
show
right?
for show black
Notoriety,
people.
I
For
mean-
show black people move the needle as far as like
Hell yeah.
it being popular.
popularized,
Right.
But we're not keeping them in business.
When I was at the Gucci store this weekend, I'm not gonna lie, it was probably like all white and Asian people, but definitely black people throughout history have worn a fuckload of Gucci.
And when
Yes.
when hip hop, there's been times where hip hop doesn't embrace Gucci, then they're less relevant overall.
That's real shit.
Like, yeah, it happened.
Only thing our culture can kill is our own shit, like FUBU, like Sean John, all
Which
that
is
shit.
sad.
If it's bigger brands, we can't kill it.
Don't you feel like if Gucci didn't do anything to appeal to black people, that they probably would still be like similarly big? Because from my perspective, they do almost nothing to appeal to black people. Like they did the little thing with Gucci with Dapper Dan, but
Yeah,
these
Dapper
things,
Dan.
these are little blips on the radar in comparison to like the vast majority of their
They
marketing.
do
right?
nothing.
They are
marketing.
probably like the biggest or one of the biggest brands in hip hop, and as far as I know, Gucci Mane was the first rapper that they ever did anything official with, right?
Yeah, they stayed away from that for
yeah.
a long
And that was in
time.
like 2020. That's
Yeah.
fucking like after like 40 years of them being huge.
And it's
in
fucking
hip-hop.
obvious that they don't want you niggas to wear this shit. They
Right.
don't
No,
care.
they got Gucci one time. They'll give you this little tiny droplet.
I mean, because they. I
mean,
you
that's
got
the
you got
case,
you
that's-
got you got fucking Virgil over here, and he bringing on everybody over here with him.
And now
Let's
it's
not
Pharrell.
copy.
Pharrell.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's copy a little bit. We bring Gucci Man over here. Let's see what he does. Dapper Dan. Let's see what it does for him. Like, I don't think they really even.
They
give
only
a
did the
shit.
Dapper Dan thing because they were under huge amounts of fire because they had basically ripped off a lot of Dapper Dan's old designs and introduced like a new collection that was clearly influenced by his prior designs. And then, of course, people have to make a big thing about it and say, hey, this is fucked up because, you know, he's not getting paid for this. You guys should have saluted him a long time ago. And so then they say, okay, we're actually going to do this, and this with Dapper Dan.
That's crazy too. Just thinking about it, with everything Adidas got going on, I'm like, Gucci's been collabing with them a lot lately. I wonder if they gonna be like, we don't want to be collabing with you guys anymore as well.
Well, look at what happened with the Tommy Hilfiger though. Back in the day, in the '90s.
All off a lie.
Timmy Hill,
All off a lie.
nigga.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Right. Like But
It's crazy that at that point in time,
Killed
so
his brand.
for the record, there was a folklore that was going around for a while that was basically saying that Tommy Hilfiger went on Oprah's show and said, we don't want black people buying our shit. Never happened. He was never even on the show.
and an email.
That rumor became so big that it had real consequences for Tommy Hilfiger as a brand.
It was also the movie. That's what I was quoting, Bamboozled, back in the day.
Yeah.
Really?
And they had like a fictional Tommy Hilfiger, and it was like Timmy, Hill, nigga. And I'm like, that too was like put the icing on the cake to where it was like black people was like,
It's just crazy.
You know what?
'cause
We shouldn't fuck with
Tommy Hilfiger at that time went on a lot of different shows and like really tried to get the word out that he was not racist and had not said these things, but it like didn't matter. And it's weird because now it feels like with the internet being so connected, if there was a big racist scandal and then it was disproven, it would be disproven like later that day. And
Right.
There would be, now granted, like the controversial thing usually gets a lot more views than the thing debunking it, but I still feel like the debunking of it would have been like really, really big news. Like it wouldn't have been hard for that word to get out to people.
But
like,
this is like
Hilfiger's not really racist.
1998.
Yeah.
So
I was really upset too because I love Tommy Hilfiger.
I still
around
fuck
that
with
time.
Tommy.
I really did. So when that shit happened and we just was like, everybody was like, don't wear it. Like it was like really some politics. Like, hey, do not buy that shit.
the first.
And then you know who was right next to him that got flagged too. Then they didn't say anything was Nautica.
Yep.
Because they were right next to him. Because you know how you market next to your competitor. So Nautica and Polo,
DKNY, Perry
All
Ellen.
their
all that
competitors,
shit.
yeah.
All whoever was sitting next to them in Macy's, fuck it, it's over with.
They're on the
And
clearance rack to this day.
DKNY was hot.
DKNY was fire. Nautica was fire.
Yeah.
It all started with the Tommy when Grand Poobah from Brand Nubian was the first one to wear it, and then like Snoop Dogg, and then it just kind of like
Oh yeah. You watched this YouTube video of the
Yeah,
same as me?
yeah,
I forget
yeah.
who made it. Was it
that was an
Yassine?
amazing video. I think
Hello,
it
Yassine?
It might have
I
been
think
him.
so.
Yeah, that was a really dope video.
Yeah, because it really helped me like realize like, oh, Tommy Hilfiger didn't have to be a thing in hip hop. It was because of like a certain, like you said, Grand Poobah and then Snoop and shit. But like, because to me, coming into like listening to rap in the '90s, it just seemed like, oh, Tommy's everywhere. That's just one of the most popular brands. Tommy was actually how I found out about bootleg jeans because there was a not a swap meet. Yeah, I guess it's a swap meet or like bullshit ass like little thing in downtown
Flea market.
Nashville. Yeah, flea market in Nashville. Actually, that was it. And like, I never had been there, but there was a kid that would walk to school near me, and he was like broke as fuck. And one day I see him wearing Tommy jeans, and he got a huge Tommy Hilfiger like logo on the back pocket, like the flag. And I'm looking at it, and I had never even owned some Tommy shit at all, but I knew they were fake right away. I was like, there's something wrong with that. And like, everybody figured it out, and then we realized there was mad other kids in school wearing clothes from the flea market, and that's how I found out. I didn't even know that shit existed before that.
I ain't got some fake Jordans from there before.
Really?
I really thought that Tommy Hilfiger was racist too, and it wasn't just that. Remember, they was talking about there was an email too that circulated, and they couldn't find the origins of it, but it was supposedly from Tommy himself.
Because we talk a lot about how bad people's media literacy is now, but like that's such an extreme example because it's like nobody gave a fuck. Like nobody had ever been fooled before by some shit, so everybody just went with it. I remember for years and years and years thinking that, oh, Tommy Hilfiger,
We need
he's
to
a
go
racist.
back. We need to go back in time because one person I felt like I was real upset with. I found out that she was racist with Lucille Ball.
What happened with her?
Is that actually a thing though?
I don't. They was like Lucy was racist, and I was like,
I can't believe you didn't even know about her.
Didn't she married a
I was a
Cuban?
real fan.
She married a Cuban dude, right?
I was a Lucille Ball fan.
you don't
I used to
watch
watch
I
that
Love
shit a
Lucy?
lot.
You don't
The
call
TV show?
yourself an OG?
I used to watch that.
Isn't it like
shit,
black
dog.
and white?
It is black and white.
I thought Lucy was
like-
cracking though.
What was there just nothing else available for you to watch? Like what?
I mean, Gilligan Island, Lucille Ball.
And you don't. And you
this
don't
is a
think that you
Gilligan
are-
Island.
And you that you an OG.
Wow.
You not an unk.
What was
This is
that?
watching
Army
Gilligan's
What was that
Island.
army show called?
MASH.
Mash. I used to fucking hate they theme song when it
No,
come
no,
on.
no, no, no.
But
That's
it was
how I
like
got
a
it.
good
That's
show,
how I got
dog.
into Seinfeld. I'm like, bro,
Oh.
I ain't got shit to watch, and I watched it one day and said,
Damn,
George
that
I've been
Costanza is
watching
the
so
nigga.
much of it lately.
Seinfeld is
Bro,
fire.
Seinfeld has so many good shoes on.
Shoes?
Bro,
Jerry Seinfeld.
Bro
Oh, yeah, hella
had
Nikes and
he
shit.
was a sneakerhead.
Yep.
You go back and look at it, it's like this nigga cold.
He'd have a new bitch every episode.
And damn fucking.
Tight, dog.
But then
George Costanza was the nigga. though.
Kramer got canceled.
George had some of the baddest
yeah.
bitches on the show, even though he's literally probably the most unattractive person you
When
could
he-
ever dream up in a million fucking years.
When he ate out the trash can and got caught.
But you know why George
wait.
had the bad bitches?
I was defending him at the time too.
And the trash can one.
Yeah, it was right on the top.
But it was on the cusp. No, but the ultimate
cusp.
is when the fire happened. The little fake, and he ran past all the kids and
Oh,
pushed the
yeah,
old
yeah,
lady
yeah.
and the clown and shit. Amazing.
So that's fucked up that kids these days don't have like morning cartoons.
They
No,
do.
they have Coco Melon. They have stuff like
It's on
specifically
YouTube now.
for that.
Baby
now,
Shark
yeah.
and all this shit.
It's like reruns I'm looking at now. It's Miss Rachel.
Oh.
If y'all Miss Rachel, she is diamond out here.
She's
Like, if you
doing
ever wonder
stupid
why
views.
my kid
I haven't
is
seen
smart,
it, but I went to Target and I seen she got a whole rack. I'm like, Miss
Bruh.
Rachel booming.
Miss Rachel is teaching them how to talk, sing. Like I'm talking about.
So that's a new
words,
Sesame
shapes.
Street.
What's it come on?
YouTube.
But was
Type in Miss Rachel.
Is that like Mr. Rogers?
It's
for
a white
them,
lady
right?
who talks like a cartoon character and says, "Hello, today you're gonna be doing this." It's like it's really hard to watch at first. Whenever you watch any of these shows, I don't want to watch Coco Melon. It bothers
I
me.
fucking hate Coco Melon,
Deeply.
and I'm tired of Boss Baby, man.
I hate having Coco
just
Melon
go-
on, even in the crib. It bothers me, bro.
Bro, I just go, oh, Miss Rachel. She said, she hogs, she comes on, bye-bye. Say bye-bye. And my dumb ass sitting in there repeating it, bye-bye. I'm like, she teaching me how to talk.
Is Parker on Word Party?
no.
That one irritates me
She's
too.
on World Star.
Whoa,
Oh, no.
Load it up every morning. We're gonna watch
Damn.
these fights.
bro, that was I ain't gonna lie, that was prime time World Star.
Yeah, what
Them
happened?
fight compilations.
I remember one time talking to this fucking girl, this white girl in New York, mid-20s type shit, right? And she goes, "Yeah, I had a job interview at World Star the other day." I'm like, I'm young enough at this point. This is probably like 2010. I'm like, you could just have a job interview at World Star? I didn't even know about that. She's like, yeah, but it's crazy when you go there. It's like everybody's a white guy with a degree from Harvard and shit. And I'm like, what?
I would, yeah.
That's what this girl told me. So ever since, every time I look at World Star,
Talking
I'm
to
kind of thinking in my head, like, okay, like, can you see anything that makes it seem as if maybe there were some Harvard grads involved in this?
So you think they're culture vultures?
I don't know what the fuck she was talking about. If there are people who work for Harvard in charge at World Star,
So you're
I'm just
saying-
not really seeing a lot
Well,
of signs of it.
R.I.P. Q. That fool was an innovator.
But
Like,
they're
yeah.
definitely misspelling shit in those fucking titles on purpose.
So
I
when
wouldn't put it
Q,
past them.
so when Q died, that's when
sold it.
World Star
That's when it
just-
started going down.
They went
Yes.
downhill.
It was already.
It was already
decline,
cut it
yeah.
down.
It was on
Yeah.
decline, but it really took a
Yeah.
nosedive when it came
But who owns it now? Some big ass.
What
media
made
company.
Worlds to me, World Star stopped being less relevant when they had their own player and it wasn't the YouTube player where you get actual plays.
But that was before like YouTube, right?
No, it wasn't before.
They had YouTube player and then they switched to their own player.
They had, yeah.
Oh.
Their original player was a YouTube player. That's why my old Battle League grind time, we had to deal with them. They were posting every single battle, and the
Right.
views were going fucking crazy. Because like every time I go on a World Star, it's just like boom, skyballing.
I went on there recently and I was like, you can't even watch a fucking video with so many ads. Like,
And it's just like
ridiculous.
And it's trash rappers that haven't figured out that World Star's not relevant, still giving them like 3 racks to post their videos. Like,
I can't find the
crazy,
thing
dog.
about why
Yeah.
it.
I paid World Star a few times, nigga, to post my video.
Shit, everybody did.
it kind of mattered back then, though,
yeah,
right?
it definitely did matter.
But it was a catch with them too.
And
'Cause
you
they
being
were-
at the top of the
See,
shit,
but-
I was at the top, like
but
putting
that-
my video up there.
That was
paying
the catch
bread.
where it was like, look, we'll play this, we'll give you the top spot, but we putting it on our YouTube and you are not getting the money for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For a while you didn't, and then they changed it.
And now World Star has like 20 million subscribers and they get no views.
Damn, bro.
Literally.
I mean, like you could get your video on there and you'll get like 30K. Like maybe if you like, but it's a weird
Less.
cheat code thing because it's like if you have like guns and lean in the thumbnail, you might be able to do better. But like most likely no. It's
Damn,
it's
that's
kinda-
fucked
I
up.
don't know.
With the sauce, you gotta keep the people with the sauce. When you buy a company like that, then you fire everybody. I mean, hey,
Hey, as long as we're talking about World Star, remember when we all drove all the way down by the airport and we did Big U's podcast and we all were happy. We're like, this is cool. We did our
It still ain't came out either.
no. That was like over a year
No,
ago. I'm saying that shit never coming out. But that
But he has a deal with caffeine, so I think they probably come on there.
maybe it came out on caffeine. We just never heard about it. But the thing about it to me is like World Star at a moment we're like getting talent, like somebody like a Big U and saying, oh, we're going to do a podcast. We're going to give you money. It seemed like they only did one season. That kind of thing would be like the kind of thing that would make World Star relevant is if they had dope original content. But
That gotta come out.
Any
Because you calling TRell C-Rod was amazing.
no,
That's
he called him
crazy.
that.
No, that's what I said. He
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
saying, when you gonna bring C-Rod back?
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
said you calling
C-Rod.
him. I thought you said you.
Big you.
You like me.
He talking about TRell. He keep coming, hey, bro, where's C-Rod at? I'm like, who the fuck is C-Rod? Like, where did he come up with that shit?
No, this nigga
amazing.
TF still got me in his phone as TC Rod.
Oh, yeah, TF was with us.
That's the
yeah,
But that was a good one.
the
though.
great unreleased Hoover 60s link up of the year.
That was amazing.
Never released.
That's crazy. That's tight.
That's a
though.
moment.
It'll release.
It's gonna come.
He got that content. That shit ain't going nowhere. Somebody gonna buy it.
Yeah, but can you
chili?
but can you imagine what we were saying? It's probably some shit that's gonna seem hella dated.
No, it was you and porn.
Yeah, you're right. He was asking about porn the whole time. You're right. I
He
forgot
was
about
like
that.
really infatuated. Like, wait, you fuck bitches for a living?
It makes it impossible for me to do most people's podcasts because if they're normies, they just want to talk about porn. I just did this poker dude, Nick Vertucci. I drive all the way down the the OC. I do his podcast. Talked about porn for probably like half of it. It's not my decision. He just
I'm not
he
going
wanted
to
know.
nobody podcast. I already just made my mind
Hey,
up.
that's how I feel now too. I'm
I
like,
ain't
nah.
doing that shit.
If
Don't
it ain't the
invite me.
homies,
I don't know, bitch. If I ain't on Joe Buttons, which probably ain't gonna never happen, I'm not going. Like,
I'll get you on the Brilliant Idiots.
People.
I'll go to that.
now that's fire.
I'll do that.
That would be the best thing ever if I could
Brilliant
get you and
Idiots.
Charlemagne on camera.
Brilliant idiots and horrible decisions.
Oh, you fuck with
No,
them?
I want
I
to
like
see.
those.
I want
I'll
to
fuck
see
with
you
you.
and Charlemagne do a
I got you.
one-on-one.
I got you.
Huh?
You and Charlemagne need to do a one-on-one.
No, I need to be in there
You gonna be like,
with Andrew.
No, you gonna be like, I'm sorry, bitch, but I didn't mean it.
Charlemagne gonna be like, nigga, who the fuck are you? Like, you ain't did shit. Like, nigga,
You called
fuck
me
outta
the
here.
court jester, and I left my team because of it.
Yeah.
Damn.
You fucked my life up.
You should show up to that podcast wearing a foil Last King shirt.
Fuck no.
I'm partnered with Adam now. Look what you did to me.
I made something up out of myself. I was talking to you the other day.
I'm gonna ask him some controversial questions.
Oh man, I could think of a few you should steer clear of.
The best thing ever is the Lil Mama interview. That's the best Charlemagne content.
I heard a lot of people say
No,
that comes off
nigga.
as bullying in this
Wait,
day and
no.
age.
It's so mean.
Is it
No,
bad?
nigga.
Oh,
When
man.
that nigga Safari was rapping, but
He said, that's
freestyling,
not it.
he was like, nah, that shit ain't it. Nigga, that shit is hilarious.
Hey, how
nigga.
about Post Malone when he was telling his girlfriend, "This, oh yeah, he gonna leave you. He about to get big."
No, he asked,
Shit.
what are you doing for Black Lives Matter?
That
Post
one
Malone
too.
said, "Dude."
He don't fuck with Post Malone at all.
But that was
Charlemagne.
back in the day when but that was like, he thought that it was going to be fucking, like he thought that Post Malone was just going to be a random nobody. And it turns out it was going to be huge. Although, how big is Post Malone now?
That nigga
He's
still.
huge.
But it feels like,
He's having a rough
His
time.
his song
He's having
though?
a rough
Yeah.
time.
His song with
You think he's having a rough
with
time
Sway
battling?
Lee. What is it? The
one
most
combo.
wasn't it the most streamed song of all time or something now? The Sunflower song?
What?
The Post Malone song he got with Sway Lee, it just broke a record. I think it's the most streamed song of all time or something.
His streams are, it's like, relevance-wise, he's still up there, but he's definitely internally unraveling. I mean, the motherfucker was drinking beer out of a fan's shoe, collapsing on stage. Like, he's having a rough time on that tour.
And
right
you
now.
wouldn't, you know.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, you can see
Take
it.
one to know one.
It's because he's white.
Could be. Could be.
Can we call this podcast Gilligan Island?
No. Even though that shit was good.
That was a good bar.
I've never seen that show in my life.
Who's the...
Gilligan Island? He used to
No,
have
but
me-
okay,
he
you
used to
realize
have me
you're
so
not
mad.
you're not adding Gilligan's Island.
Gullah Gullah Island, I'm familiar with.
Gullah
What's
Gullah
You know,
Island.
Some shit you would never
you
watch.
know, naming this show.
Binya.
You know, saying you naming this show Gilligan Island is so much of a bar for a person to use.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And he will say you are the
1000%.
top Gilligan.
So what? He's a fake black guy.
That nigga go
Anyway.
get you, dog.
Yep, it's over.
That nigga
It's
go
over.
get you,
Here it
dog.
comes.
Oh, here comes a reaction.
Here coming.
18,000 views. Here we go. I'm going to be able to go get a sandwich from Subway after this. All right. I appreciate everybody who watched this. Appreciate y'all. Shout out TRell, Lush, AD.
Come on.
Whole lotta. We out. Bow.